Hello, hello, happy Friday. Welcome to our Friday Witchy Hangout. We do this every single Friday where we tap into some kind of juicy topic. We mix and mingle our energies from all around the world and we just see what comes about. And this is a way that we can kind of live our lives together, hold hands through the journey that is life. Welcome. Okay, so today's reading is a juicy topic. I actually like this topic. It's who hates you. I laugh every single time. But I don't know, like tapping into this now, I feel a little bit kind of like somber. So I think I'm going to fold into this one's like, who hates you? Obviously we're going to try to get at why they hate you. But if there is some kind of conflict revolution or if there's, and that's interesting.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Conflict revolution. That's interesting. Then maybe we'll see if there's anything to do with that. But I think this is just an interesting one. Plus, I do think that it's valuable information to have to know who hates you. I mean, even if you're a Susie cream cheese kind of person where you're just nice to everybody, still there's going to be somebody out there that hates you, and it can help us understand life and ourselves and the world around us. So with that being said, we'll get into this. I just want to say, Jessie Lou Who, you have no idea how much that makes my heart sing. Like, I love the Who's in Whoville. I love their aesthetic. I love their life. I love everything about it. I will just say, I got these headbands. We all went somewhere one Christmas to like an uncle's house or an aunt's house somewhere that it's like out in the woods or whatever. And I got these headbands because I just thought it would be fun for everybody to be able to grab a headband like whenever they walk in the door. And it was really fun and it added to like the festive Christmas scene. So if you're looking to spend like $15 to really up your Christmas fun and cheer and enjoyment, then this is definitely a good way to go because it's also fun to like switch them up and everything. It's a good conversation starter, just throwing it out there. But I've also just been wearing these around the house for just that extra dose of Christmas cheer. I do want to say that we have some announcements about merch and about candles at the end of the stream. We're going to talk about it. And for those of you that have ordered personal readings, I'm working through those personal reads. I had more people book with me than I expected, and a lot more people did the 2 questions than the 1 question. There's not a problem with that. That's not a bad thing at all. I like to offer the 2 question because to me, it's like if you're waiting in line, I don't want you to have to like Sophie's choice your question, like, okay, well, which one, if you have a couple questions and you've been waiting in line, then I like that you can ask those couple questions, but just know that I'm working through them very solidly and very steadily. And I just wanted to mention that up here out the gate. So we have 3 piles as per usual of who could potentially hate you. Isn't this a fun little game? Pick your poison, who hates you? We got the 3 piles here. Pile number 1. Oof, I always do that. Pile number 1 is Anima Mundi. And pile number 2 is the Medallion. And pile number 3 is the Empty Room. And we do have an anchor card today. So for those of you that are new, the anchor card isn't a choice, but it's just a kind of base energy that goes into all of the piles. And some people, I feel like we read the cards together. Some people like to know what the anchor energy is, and that is the threshold. So this one's not an option, but this is kind of like the base energy, the threshold energy. So that's all 3 piles. If you haven't already, just take a moment to close your eyes, go within your soul, make that deep connection, allow everything around you to just kind of drop. Take a deep breath. And from that place, connect with your piles, keeping in mind that I feel everything that happens in a tarot reading and something that we set as a sacred space with sacred intention, all of our intentions kind of combining together, can be meaningful without making ourselves paranoid or driving ourselves to crazy town. Take what is helpful and leave what's not helpful. But so the way that you get drawn into your pile can be a clarifying message. It can also just allow you to kind of check the temperature on your intuition, how it's moving today, how it moves just in general, and just building that relationship that you have with the divine. So that is all 3 of the piles. And we will go ahead and get into pile number 1. Ooh, I just got a little bit nervous. Okay, actually, I'm kind of getting some starting messages here. I'm going to just mention before I pull any of the cards. Okay, I actually feel like this is catalyst energy for the people who hate you. I feel like this might be some kind of confused emotion. And I feel like what it is, it's like intimidation about like, because they're sitting on some kind of like threshold energy. And I think they're somewhat intimidated to leave their comfort zone. And you represent leaving their comfort zone. And actually, this Anima Mundi card, this is one of the initiation cards in this deck. So that's like one that comes towards the end of like the spread, and it's initiating. So again, there's catalyst energy here, there's initiation energy. And I'm kind of getting that you represent something on like the opposite side of like the wheel of life or something. And you know, this card Anima Mundi, it's I think it says something in the book. It's like everything is accepted and nothing is rejected. And so I think this is somebody who is struggling to accept that certain things are like real in our world, and that they need to look at those things and acknowledge, like, so this person could be really trying to be in like denial, trying to like push something away. Like, I don't want to look at that. And because if I looked at that and I incorporated it into my worldview or something like that, something that you know, or something that you are and have lived through something, then I think it just makes somebody here uncomfortable. So I think it's actually a function of denial that they have this strong, hateful sort of response to you. But I can see that this is like part of a dance of life, because I've noticed that we all do kind of like there's an intelligence to this, like kind of friction is what I want to say. And I'm kind of flickering back to a time in my life. For those of you who like know a little bit more about me and you've been on my channel for a while, I studied religion in college for like the first 2 years. And that was such an interesting time. But my faith as a Christian really started to break down. I really wanted to be a pastor. But during the history of Christianity class, my faith just broke irrevocably. It was kind of building up to it. But then we learned about the Fourth Crusade, and that was like the straw that broke the camel's back. And after that, I spent a lot of time going into like chat rooms. Like, I don't know if they were Christian chat rooms, but it was like people were debating like Christianity and the ins and outs of their Christian faith and whether or not God exists and things like that. And at first I would just like listen. I would just like kind of watch these conversations because I was trying to figure out my own faith. And then after a while, I started to get a little bit more ballsy, and I would kind of jump in there and I would debate on one side one day, and then I would debate on the other side another day, just trying to like figure myself out. And so I feel like there's some kind of dance like that going on, where somebody is somewhere along that like threshold where maybe it's been building up, something has, and you're like that straw that broke the camel's back. Or maybe somebody is trying to explore. For some of these could have to do with their faith, but I also feel like for others of you, this has to do with something secular and something that you represent, or like, again, an experience, like a lived experience that you have, or something that this person doesn't necessarily want to acknowledge. And I actually think you've acknowledged their side of it. And this person also kind of can't grasp that the way that you are affecting them, that they're not affecting you in a similar way. Like, this person might like to see you as their mortal enemy or something, and they hope that you see them as your mortal enemy or something to be like vanquished or something. But I don't think that you do. I think for some of you, you came from this class of people and you have had some kind of breakthrough experience already in yourself. So I think you actually have quite a bit of compassion. Literally, I just looked down and saw this, my little compassion wand. You have quite a bit of compassion for this person and like what they're going through. I don't think you're going to tolerate disrespect, you know, and I don't think that you're going to tolerate this person kind of trying to slam into your space, because this approach, this kind of denial approach where they're angry and agitated and hateful, I think it makes them brash, and it shuts off the more like parasympathetic nervous system side of things, where we can have some kind of like calm discussion. Because, and you might not even understand it, you know, because even if you had, some of you may have actually had an experience with this person where you thought you were having some kind of conversation and maybe you were more open, like they could have started some kind of Libran dynamic, and you could have like kind of gone back and forth a little bit because you thought it was like fair and balanced, like, hey, you're telling your side of things and I'm telling my side of things. And then it like all of a sudden maybe like switched up in their energy or something. And that is, you pulled back from that space because you realized that they weren't actually curious, that maybe they were trying to make a point, or that they were trying to deny or trying to be aggressive, like in some way. And I think it's because they're sitting on, it feels like it's an ego thing, like their identity is wrapped up in whatever this belief is or something here like that. But they're sitting on the threshold, and it's like they want to leave their comfort zone. And I think that they actually have quite a bit, this is weird because I think they actually have quite a bit of respect for you. They can sense the difference, I think, in your energy, that you are like bigger. They sense that you're like a respectable person. I think this person wants to hate you. That's what it feels like it is. And so maybe it like teeters back and forth about like they hate you sometimes, but they also respect you. They understand that you make sense, even if they don't understand it. It's like that there's no like jumps in your logic or something here like that. Rachel, thank you so much for the super chat. And also Anonymous, thank you for your super chat earlier as well. You really kicked us off with that. Snazzy headband appreciation. Thank you so much. Yeah. So I really think that it's a lot for this person, but I think you also kind of know that. I just don't think that you want to be this person's punching bag. And also you're not in the role of this person's teacher necessarily. Also, like when I'm looking at this star energy, like in the middle, there's all that stuff like there. And my initial reaction to this is I'm interested and I'm curious because I want to see what like all these little symbols are. But I'm intimidated and there's like a lot here. So I feel like for a lot of you, that's how this person feels. It's like, there's a lot here. I'm interested, but I'm intimidated and I got to kind of go slow and I got to go kind of like one thing at a time. And I think they feel like you are this like hand energy where you could potentially like just kind of flip things around. So this all just feels very precarious here for this person. And I think it's the tension. I would say this is more tension than actual hatred. But like if this person isn't really dipping into their like nuanced inner space, then I think maybe it is hatred, or they like hate what you stand for, or which might just be like inclusion or taking an interest in like the world around you or something like that. I just saw the word self-blame for my walnut bowl. So maybe that's like a part of it here as well. So now I feel like they need to shed a skin. And this is also a person who sits on the threshold, because with this anima mundi, it's like, it's the animal spirit of the world, kind of like, and with the snake skin, I feel like this person is like being called upon to shed a skin. And also with the snake, it's like there's something they feel very intimidated by. And I was watching a reading on Kat's channel, Weird is the New Black, and she was talking about this lady that danced with a cobra, and she had to kiss the cobra on the head. And I was very interested in that. So I looked up that video and it was terrifying. It was honestly freaking terrifying. And I can't believe that certain kinds of people in the world exist like that. Like it really blows my mind that that one person, let alone multiple people, was like, I'm going to get this close to a cobra and just see what happens. Like I cannot relate to that at all. And I feel like that's how actually this person sees you, is that you're kind of, and it could be dancing with your own snake, like dancing with your kundalini and stuff. Like, and this person's like, I don't want to do that. Like, it feels very threatening to them. It feels very dangerous to them. But to you, I guess it's like more natural. Some of you have strong K2 energy in your chart too, because K2 individuals can kind of be like that. Like Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, very K2 oriented person, where it's not a logical kind of sense, that he has. It's a body sense. It's like it's that animal spirit of the world. And I feel like maybe you're like very plugged into that. So who else hates pile 1? Sorry, it just feels like a weird, I love that. Who hates pile number 1? Look, 7 of Swords. This person is sneaking on you. And they're in this fox energy, this cunning energy. And look, you're awakening their animal here as well, because they're operating from that animal consciousness, that fox kind of like sneaky. They're trying to act like they're not watching you, but they're watching you. And I feel like there's conversations about you. And I actually think that this is very healing in a way. It's got that catalyst kind of energy. And believe it or not, I think that these are people, you know how they say small-minded people talk about people and larger-minded people talk about ideas. I actually think that maybe some of you have accidentally meaning like you weren't trying to do this. You got these people to talk about some kind of idea that's different from, I feel like I knew it. They're talking about you. They're talking about you. They're chitting-a-chatting about you. And they are actually trying to understand you. I do actually think that. Even if it's like kind of with a little, yeah, like even if it's with that, like I still think that you have like given these people something to think about. They're actually talking about ideas for once. They're actually talking about philosophies. And I feel like this group can be quite homogenous because they're all birds, so it's like they only understand bird stuff, but now they're kind of like seeing in the dark with this, and like they see things from the light side. So this also could potentially have to do with shadow work. And these people, like, I remember Dr. K, who is a psychologist, like here on YouTube, or not a psychologist, psychotherapist. I don't know. He's awesome. And he has a channel called The Healthy Gamer. And he was talking about, oh no, I think I'm going to lose it. Oh no, he was talking about people who say that they're unemotional and that they're very logical. And a lot of times those people are very emotional and they're very logical, or they're very emotional, but it just creeps in and it pretends like it's their logic, but it's also like standoffishness and like denial. But so, because you don't get to just like cut off like an entire part of your system. You can pretend it's not there. But I feel like that's what these people do. Where they're like, I don't have a shadow. And you're like, is that why like the demon Antichrist itself came out of you at dinner when I said Hinduism, like, or whatever it is that you said, like, that's shadow material. And I think these people I think they're relearning terms, and they're taking that deeper understanding. They are, and this is just kind of a funny way of going about it, but they are I just heard sneak dissing. So these people also might sneak diss you to your face, but I think you see it. Because I think that you're very detail oriented. There is something about detail orientedness with this card. And so I think, yeah, you are like very detail oriented, but these people are learning how to see the forest for the trees. Look, they're so angry. Yeah, I feel like it could have to do with control here as well. And like they want you to accept their truth with like a capital T. So there could be more than one person here. And so I feel like there's maybe this figure that's like very a leader, but cold, coming from a place of like cold emotion, just likes to maybe chat about theory and stuff, but it's completely unemotional and unhuman is what I want to say. I just heard antichrist, anti-human, anti-feeling. But there's other people, and maybe this person, you can see this person. Oh, okay. So there's a leader energy here, an authority of some kind that maybe provides or something, and it could be providing a narrative, providing some kind of like structure here, and you can see this person because you're different, because the Seven of Swords is Moon in Aquarius. So that's somebody who's just very different and at home being different and kind of being out there, because Aquarius is out there, and like you're comfortable actually pushing the limits, especially intellectually, because we've got air energy here. This is Gemini, like for me, and this is Aquarius. So we've got the youngest air sign and we've got the eldest air sign. So you're actually more developed than this person in your mental processes, and it incenses them. I feel like this person has maybe tried to outmaneuver you and it's just not worked, but also you kind of, because you can see it. And it's like these people are in Fox energy. They don't want to admit that they're in Fox energy. I think you know that you're in Fox energy. You're in that kind of cunning. You're seeing what you're seeing. And also foxes tend not to be very aggressive. They are skittish. They like run away from you. It's not like meeting a coy wolf or something like that's actually going to get you. So they could even be trying to say like, oh, you are aggressive, and you're not. Like, again, foxes like to mind their own business. They're actually very playful. They're very fun. We have foxes, like we had 3 litters of foxes this year in our backyard. I've seen them. I've watched them. They're not aggressive. They run off like when people are around. But they love to play. They're playful little creatures. They're very smart. They're very intelligent. That's you. And you're not aggressive, but you just are, you kind of like to keep to yourself, I think, actually. These people would like to paint you as aggressive just for existing and just for flaring them up. So that's what I'm saying. These are people that haven't done their shadow work because they take no accountability for their own feelings. Because they feel a certain way about you, you must be doing it on purpose. I honestly think they have a base feeling, they have a base belief that that you should care that you're ruffling them up. And if you are a nice person, you would change your entire belief structure because you ruffled somebody's feathers. And that's just unrealistic and stupid. So these people are kind of dumb. I'm not going to lie. But it's a dumbness that they're like getting ready to leave behind. And it's not dumb per se, like intellectually. They just blunt themselves out because there's things that they can't accept about our world and that they refuse to acknowledge and incorporate into their worldview. So it's not like an intellectual capacity that I feel like makes these people kind of stunted. It's their unwillingness to look at people and situations that are different than them. When I feel like you actually, maybe you traveled, maybe you have, people, you listen to people is what I'm getting. Like you just actually listen to people when they tell you that they have had an experience in life that is different than yours. And because of that, you integrate that into your overall worldview. And these people just kind of can't do that. And they want to insist that the world is homogenous in like their corner of the world. And then they wonder why people don't like them, and they wonder why they miss a lot of things. Like, well, I didn't know that existed. And you're like, you literally have no excuse to not know that like things were that way. In a way, I feel like you're a wish fulfillment because these people are ready to like push past whatever this is. But I feel like they've got to go through the fire energy. And I just heard Garth Brooks in my mind, standing outside the fire. Life has not tried it, just barely survived it. You're standing outside the fire. That whole song is like, I really don't respect people that stand out of the fire. Like life is meant to be lived, like jump into the fire, kind of a thing. And that's what I feel like you've done. And they want to because they know that they're cowards. I feel like these people know that they're cowards because they don't know what you're talking about. They have not had an experience of it. They know the experience exists and is out there for them to have that experience. And they know that they're just refusing to acknowledge that. They know that. On some level, they absolutely know that. Looking very holly and jolly today, Jess. I love this. I really do. Your favorite song when you were a kid? Me too. Oh my gosh, that Double Live CD. I wonder is Garth Brooks on iTunes now? Because I remember he made a big stink about that. And it's been like the frustration of my life not to be able to just access that double live CD. But you know what? I think he was in some hot water. I think he cheated on Miss Trisha. But I think they cheated together. I don't know, girl. Maybe that's a part of it too. Maybe that somehow ties into this. But Garth Brooks is married to Trisha Yearwood, for those of you that don't know what we're speaking about here. But yeah, and basically you're this high priestess energy, because this can be secrets and like what you don't know. And I feel like, again, these people are also very intuitive, and they're not using their intuition, because I just heard these people have capacities that they don't tap into. And also this other like leader over here that was like all angry, like they might not like these people tapping into their intuition, because they like to dictate, like no offense, like growing up in the Christian church, this is kind of what I've come to realize, because I realized that a lot of the Christian church, like it's spells and it's rituals. They just limited it to a few ones. Like you're only allowed to say these certain prayers, and you're only allowed, the tunes are different now, you know? And then they do rituals where they bring candles in, you know, and you light the candles because it brings the light in, and, you know, you do communion. They're doing rituals, but they have a man, which I think is significant, because Venus exalts in Pisces. Venus rules over women. Pisces is spirituality. And there's with masculine energy, I'm not saying all men are like this, but it tends to form like hierarchy and then competition. And look at like the state of our world with religions now, how it's like hierarchical and like everybody's got to fight everybody else. Whereas I feel that a lot of times women, even just like around the house when you're cleaning or something, and you use certain like herbs in your cleaning washes, and you kind of just spread your energy around, and probably you smudge and like you energy clean as well. Like all of that is like very spiritual. And even just, I always think about like the prayers of your grandmother are still protecting you. Like just saying prayers over little things, and like just getting the bacteria out, setting things out in the sun, like all of that's ritual and it's spell work. And we should be creative and expressive in that way, especially if you don't come from a corrupted place. But people are taught not to trust themselves. And you shouldn't trust yourself if you're coming from a corrupted place, but you can look at that corrupted place, transmute it, and then you're not coming from a corrupted place, and then it frees you up to be able to do that. You see what I'm saying? So there's a control element here of, you know, we only do these things, and, you know, and this is the superior way. And like, instead of encouraging people to have like their own kind of, I don't know, expression of that. So it's like, there's something here. These people are intuitive, and they're just on the precipice of like being able to, but they've blunted their minds in some way. And so they've got to like free your mind and the rest will follow. And I feel like you're very intuitive. And so you can kind of, I feel like you're always one step ahead of these people or something. Like you can kind of, it's because you're extra sensory to them. Like you have extra senses. I feel like you have the senses that humans have, but like you've explored them. You've like gone into them. And so I feel like you're always kind of one step ahead, and they want to go back to the past. I feel like these people are obsessed with the past of something here. And maybe the past is when you were under their control, and they want things to be simple, and they're clinging on to something, but Spirit is saying like the time is over. And I feel like you're a part of this movement, because again, the spirit of the world, like the spirit of the world is like her own organism, and we all kind of are cells in that organism that are like moving around. And I think that, you know, it's time, and you're a part of this movement to get these people to kind of transform and to jump in, but they can't hold on to this forever. Like the time is up. And so I think that they are, again, this is kind of small-minded, or people who aren't used to how the mind works, or they don't get curious about how the mind works, because I think that they see you as a part of this movement that's kind of encouraging them towards growth, and they think, oh, this is coming from you. And then they hate you, and then they take everything out on you. This is coming from you. No, it's not. It's coming from a pulse within them that knows that they're ready. It's coming from God, essentially, that says you're ready. You need to grow. Stop stunting yourself and everyone else. Dear Lord Jesus above, fix it. Fix it, Jesus. I've been watching Mama and Josh. Fix it, Jesus. They had this guy Daryl over. Anyways, you guys, never mind. It's just, yeah, they kept saying fix it, Jesus, because Mama doesn't season her food, but she's so sweet and she's so endearing. But anyways, yeah, seasoning. So maybe it's like, I need a little more spice in my cooking. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah. So they hate you because there's no having a conversation with you, but it's because these people are stunted. They're not on your level, and they're not capable of having that conversation. So you may have closed the door with these people where you're like, I'm just not interested, because the thing is, and this is what these people don't want to look at, you've been where they've been. So you understand it thoroughly. It's something that you've lived. They have not been where you have been. So this is not an equitable situation, and you can't meet each other on the same plane. And if they would like to have this conversation with you, they need to try and understand your perspective, or they need to try and understand your worldview. And they don't want to do that, and then they take it out on you because you're insisting that they grow in order. Before, I really do feel like you're holding some kind of boundary. It's like, before we have a conversation, you need to grow. And all of this does seem very divinely guided, but I do feel like you're kind of taking the brunt of it. These people feel friction. And I think they would like to say that they've been aggressed against, but I don't think they have been aggressed against. And as a matter of fact, I think if anybody has been aggressive, I think it's been them. I think if anybody's pushed a boundary, I think it's been them. And it's because they want to drag you back into the past. That's what I'm getting, where maybe possibly you were this person's child, or you were easily controllable, but where they could trick you with a false definition of fairness and equality. Like, oh, we need to talk about this. Well, you've got to have something in your toolkit, Mr. or Mrs. Ma'am, before we can have that fair conversation, because these people are just kind of used to maneuvering is what I'm getting. So you do have some kind of, you and they do. You have some kind of like spiritual inheritance. I feel like that's coming in. And there's no reward in what you're doing too. I'm hearing like you don't stand to gain anything except for being understood. So maybe these people are trying to say that like you're trying to gain some kind of reward or something, but you're not. Like the reward that you stand to gain is just being understood. And these people stand to gain a lot because they're going to be more intuitive and they're going to be a part of the spirit of the world. These people are blocking themselves off from the spirit of the world. They also, I think, feel excluded, but they exclude themselves. They feel excluded from like the overall world. They feel like they don't, these are people that insist that they don't need to understand other people, like in mass. Like there's entire groups, I feel like these people are like, I don't need to understand your perspective. I'm just going to blanket call it evil and run in the other room. And you're like, that doesn't sound very intelligent. Or a lot of these people are Christians. Just where I'm from, they're Christians. And that's just anti-Jesus. It's anti-Christ. Because Christ went, there's nowhere, that man walked straight into hell with a smile. He walked straight into the leper village. He was open, he was loving, he was kind, you know, and they're just not that way. And so they feel blocked off and they feel, oh, well, we're being excluded, but really they're excluding themselves because they're not playing nice in the sandbox. They're not playing nice in the sandbox. And they need to shed this skin. I think their psyche gets more slippery. Their ego defense mechanisms, they burrow down into denial. They burrow down into reaction formation. They burrow down into projection. And then they block to wall themselves off. And then they're the ones with the finger pointed out saying, well, you don't understand me. And you're like, this is really rich. And I don't even know how to, I feel like, you know, God above has to deal with it because there's nothing you can do, and nor is it your responsibility. So there's just a lot of friction here. There's just a lot of tension here, but I can see it's part of this kind of like divine dance, and everybody is where they're at. And yeah, so compassion. Compassion, compassion, compassion. Blanche found them lately. Congratulations, good job, you deserve it. Though it's difficult for me to believe with them that they aren't still part of this group. Interesting. Good morning. Yeah. Oh, the prayers of your mother too. Okay, let me take a little drink. And then I got some new lip gloss, if I can find it. Oh my gosh, it's right in front of me. It's like darker than I'm used to, but I love it. I feel like I look so elegant. And I want to look elegant for you guys. Okay. I got it, but I do have to make sure it doesn't like get everywhere. But, okay, just look at me real quick before it fades again. Isn't this cute? Oh my gosh. Okay. It's a nah for me, dog. I just don't want to deal. All right, so that was pile number 1. I'm just going to compassion one more time with the Om Mani Padme Hum. All right. If you are just now joining us, we just did pile number 1, which was the Anima Mundi, right? Huh? And then we're moving on to the medallion and the empty room. So if you want to choose which pile real quick that you feel drawn into. Let me just put my losh. Let me get some losh. We like to shorten words in this house. Well, I do. All right. So we're moving on to pile number 2, which is the medallion here. All right. Pile 2. You love the lip gloss. Thank you. I like it too. Okay. Who is hating tonight? All right. Let me get a new. Oh my gosh. Okay. Hold on. I just looked down and I saw, what's the T? So this person might be trying, there's some question here about like, what's the T? Also T, the letter T might be relevant in this person's name, or like from where you know this person or something. I just want to see what's the T. Okay, who hates pile 2? See, it's funny. It's never not funny. And laughter, I feel like laughter, when it comes from a good jovial place, it really changes the energy here. Fake flexing. Cyberbully. You are being bullied online, or they are, or has suffered from it. Spiritual hater. Hates on your spirituality, light, magic, and power. Okay, so this person really is a hater, and I feel like they're fake flexing. And I'm noticing the medallion here as well. So this person really likes goods. Whoever it is that's hating on you, they might be jealous of like your goods, but this person, I think, fake flexes themselves with all this like money or their jewelry. They could be accusing you of doing this. I feel like this person, okay, so I just looked down and saw always partying and grudge holder. Oh my gosh, and screenshot, getting evidence, proof, or like facts. So this person like is gnarly in their energy, but I feel like they're trying to project that outwards on you. This person is like fault finding. This person is trying to like pick you apart or fault finding in your energy, but they really just hold some kind of like grudge. They could have tried to invite you to a party and then like you didn't go, and for whatever reason, can't imagine why, and then forever like they just held some kind of grudge. This person could be cyber bullying you, or maybe they've been cyberbullied, but honestly, this person has a very bullying kind of, and a bullish kind of energy. This person's very stubborn. They're refusing to budge. They are refusing to move. I think you felt like this in the past. Okay, so this person who hates you, they were a part of a movement in your past. Like you knew this person at a crossroads moment in your life where I think you felt small. You could have been a literal child when you were around this person, or like an adolescent, or you were trying to like level up in some way, or you just didn't feel comfortable. You didn't feel, you felt insecure in some way to like leave your comfort zone. And so you were trying, I'm really getting like young adulthood. There's some kind of like kneecap moment in time, or you could have been new to a certain area or new to a certain job or something. This may have had to do with some kind of like party. I feel like this person's trying to bully you, but God stepped in. And okay, this is reminding me of the Bible quote that says like the Lord prepared me a feast in front of my enemies. So I feel like this person is trying to make it seem like you are full of shit or something, but I actually feel like you've received some kind of blessing. So I feel like the divine stepped in to kind of move you away from these people. And there's somebody here, and I don't know if it's somebody that's hating on you or it's somebody that like got wrapped up with this person that hates you, or this group, because for some of you, there's a group or even a family, and somebody here is trying to reach up for like you. And for some kind of, maybe even like a family situation with you. There's 7 of Swords again. So this person's also creeping around. I'm definitely getting that this person's like on your accounts. This person is like looking at every picture you post, and they're like, ugh, like they went to this place or that place, or like, your goods. Yeah. Okay, who is hating on pile number 2? Okay, and I said hating, which like adding ing to the end of things in English, like that's making something a continuous verb. So I feel like this person just like continuously hates you, and I feel like this is just something that you need to understand is like, even if you change because some of you might have felt like, okay, well, like what am I doing wrong? You know, like, and then I'll fix it. If you were in a relationship with this person or something. But the thing is, if you change little things about yourself, it's not going to matter to this person. They're just trying to like yank you around and have control over you, because this person is a spiritual hater. This person just hates on your energy, just in general. But also like, look at all this pink energy. I feel like this person, they could do rituals or like spell work on you. This person could, but I just noticed like all the pink, like this person could try to come off as like a very caring person, a very loving person, maybe try to invite you to like a party or something, but really they hate you. Maybe they invited you to a party to try to bully you or something like that. Yeah. Okay, who is hating on pile 2? Oh my gosh, they're getting karma. Whoever this is, this person, oh my gosh, look at this. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune and the Justice card, this person is getting karma. There is some kind of like divine intervention here. I feel like Spirit saw what this person was doing behind the scenes. I feel like this person was doing magic for a lot of you. And I know that that's like extreme, but more and more people are getting involved in magic today than like ever. And a lot of people, they really do come at it from this like very low vibrational place. They don't know anything about magic. And they're trying to do that. So I feel like this person was trying to like interfere. They were trying to intervene in your destiny, and they wanted to level you, leveling. They wanted to level the playing field, but it's fair. It's legitimate that you are above this person in some way, because this is a nasty person. This is legitimately a nasty person. And so it's fair. This person is receiving what is fair. They tried to like obstruct the truth from you. They tried to hold the truth. They tried to send a message here. This person lied on you. This person was trying to malign you. They were trying to make it seem that you are not a fair or giving person and that you are much less than you are. They tried to misrepresent the relationship between the two of you here as well. And if you gave this person money, or if you gave them like room and board, like this person is trying to say that it's the other way around. This is a person who projects. This is a projector 100%. They work through illusion, smoke, and mirror. This person is a liar. Make no mistake about it. So look at this. Look how sweet this woman looks. She reminds me of this lady here on YouTube. Actually, I don't think she's posted on YouTube for quite a while. But there for a while, I was learning a lot about like Buddhist meditation from her. Like she was actually a Buddhist nun for quite a period of time. She just had this very calm spirit about her, you know? And this lady kind of reminds me of her spirit. Like if I could draw anything, like that's what I would have drawn. And like, she's very kind and she's very giving, and she's got the balanced, like, so you're a very balanced, giving kind of person, but I feel like this person tried to malign you, and they could have also tried to like send some kind of message either towards you or towards somebody else to like disrupt that balance and to try to make it seem, devil energy. Oh my gosh, look at all the major arcana that are coming out here. Okay, so this, I feel like it was actually destined for you to meet this person, because it was like some kind of catalyst initiating sort of experience for the both of you. I think it actually got you in touch with your Aquarian energy with the star. It put distance between you and this person, or possibly a group or a family, something to do with this person, and you gain clarity and you gain strength. Look how strong she is. She looks to me like an Amazon priestess from the stars or something. Like, you know, she's very strong, she's very unique, she's very different, she's focused on herself, her skin is glowing, her hair is glowing, she is the star that like flickers in the night. And it's put you at a distance here, and you've closed the cycle, and now I feel like this person is being left in their own shenanigans. I can't show you this devil card, I don't think, but like it's the devil energy, and they're basically being left with whatever like pile of poo they tried to put you in. I feel like this person's wanting to clear the air with you, but I don't know, that air seems not fresh. You know what I'm saying? This person they definitely checked up on your profile recently. I feel like, again, they continuously hate on you. So I feel like this person continuously goes to check on your, like, to see what you're up to. If they have connections with your family, I just heard they try to reach out like for your family. Maybe for some of you, your family has like money, or they think that they do. And they might have wanted to join with they might have wanted to bind to you and to your family name instead of going their own way and being independent. So this was meant to be a catalyst energy here for them. Maybe for some of you, this person is in your family and you had to like leave your family, some kind of protection of your family. Maybe you stood to inherit or something like that, and you like left your family and went your own way. And, I just heard you can go your own way, but it's put this person on a threshold, but I almost said pedestal. This person wanted to drive you away in order to be put on a pedestal, and they wanted to like tank your stock. They wanted to tank your name in order to be put on a pedestal. But the stock thing, there's something here about money. And also like coming from good stock. They wanted it to seem like you weren't good stock or something. But you went alone and you bossed up. And I think that this person is being left out, like left in the dust. They're being left behind in some kind of way. And they're on their ass is what I'm getting. And they're being like kind of left alone. Ugh, there could be somebody watching them as well. They're about to fall right into a trap, this person. I heard they need to be very careful. The divine is actively working in this situation. So this person, if this person is not, and I mean the utmost of respectful when it comes to you, if they are not top tier when it comes to you, giving more than they're receiving, if they're not extra, then I really don't think that's going to fare well for this person. Their seeds are not coming up. This person tied themselves to a poop. Like, you've heard hitch your wagon to a star. This person tied themselves to like a poop, and it's stinky, and it's like not doing anything for them. Like, I don't know. And they just hate this person's this person thinks that you're doing really well, or that your family does. There is like a family energy here, and like family heirlooms or something, like with the medallion. And ew, this person might be trying to like reunite with you or send somebody towards you, even in friendship. They want to offer you some kind of tempting, like kind of fruit thing, because they also might try to come to you small. Be careful. This is a slippery person. So we talk a lot about the victim, rescuer, persecutor. This person's going to come back to you like a wounded victim. And, but they're really a persecutor, and this person hates you, but they want to come back like they're this little turtle, and maybe like they're, you know, like that. And, they expect you, they want you to be this queen of cups, like ever giving, ever nurturing. So that tells me this person on some level knows that their hatred for you is unjust, because they know that they've been a turd face in the past. They know that they have a lot of poop coming through this. They know that they ain't shit. And they also know that despite whatever it is that they did, that you still will be lovely to them. Like, or they don't know about it. Like, even if you're not going to, like, they still kind of think like, oh, well, maybe this person's going to be loving towards me. That's who you are, even to this person. So they know they're a liar. This person knows they're a liar. Oh my gosh. Sounds like your mom. Yeah, there's definitely family. Either this person wants to bind themselves to your family, or they are a member of your family. And this person doesn't know the new version of you, because I think you were at this threshold moment in the past. And so it is weird, because I just feel like your energy can't help but be a friend to people. So you kind of, you know, like how birds eventually have to have one like crazy psychotic day where they're like, I'm just going to fling myself out of this nest and see how it goes. I've seen other birds do it. I'm just going to, why not? You know, I feel like you did that. You were like, I just have to jump into this new experience. You know, you did that. You took flight. And now this person is feeling small, and they don't recognize that they are also on a threshold. And I feel like if they're not careful, their anger is going to like eat them alive. Whereas I feel like you probably had to get in touch with your anger, your like righteous anger, because this person expected you to just be like ever forgiving, and your anger like kind of set you free. And I'm hearing that Gloria Steinem quote. It's like the truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off. So I think that you had to like realize some kind of negative truth about this person, and it pissed you off, but it also set you free from this person, and it let you out of your comfort zone, because this person may have been a part of your comfort zone. They may have been your comfort zone, but they may have been a part of it. And it's kind of like the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. So you knew it was kind of shit, but you also, yeah, and you could have shared a home with this person, or even children. Like there's something here about children. There's something here about the past. But then you were like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. Like I'm faking it. That's like, if you were in a relationship with this person, or even if this was your family, I feel like you would have been faking that everything was all good and everything was happy. And this person kind of knew that. And they knew that you were in pain or something. So you set off, and maybe you didn't have much money or anything like that too. Yeah, you left. You are such a loving person. This is such a loving group. And you had a lot of love here. There's a group that you had to leave behind, or some kind of place where there's still a lot of love, but you just felt like this wasn't safe for you anymore, or that you needed to go somewhere else. And I think you were right about that, because I think that you were being like energetically even just like bullied. And so you grew from that. Like you definitely grew from that. And I think it's been like over a long period of time. Yeah, and Spirit had your back with this, because now all of a sudden you're happy. I just saw the Hierophant, which is Shiva. I love Shiva. But in this deck, and then it's the 10 of Cups. So it's like you have like maybe a happy marriage, happy family, or that's where you're headed to, because you left this nonsense behind. So who hates you? Ew, this person, they don't... Okay, so there's Gemini Sagittarius axis, which is such an interesting axis, because I feel like you're showing up as like the Sagittarius side of this, where you're like actually finding your balance after this tough ending. And Sagittarius is also like the teacher and the guru, but it's like also kind of traveling, and it's getting to know like another culture or something like that. And then this person is showing up in Mercury energy, not necessarily Gemini, because they showed up as the magician. And so they think they're trying to manipulate you, and they're supposed to be like learning from you, and they're supposed to be like kind of learning how you being in such balanced energy is actually teaching this person, but they're trying to like knock your confidence. And they're trying to do it in a quick way. They could be trying to do it by introducing a third party, introducing some kind of competition, or this could be this fake flexing energy where they're trying to act like, oh, I'm the Queen of Wands and I'm so confident and I'm so like, yeah. And they're like fake flexing in some kind of way. And then they're trying to wait and see like if it affects you or something like that. But Spirit has given you the higher cup. Yeah. And it's sending this, I feel like this person is in like a one-sided fight with you. And I think that the best revenge is just being happy. I feel like you're not really sweated by this person. Like you don't mind that, you don't think about this person, I think, for a lot of you. And you're just moving on. And so I think this person is like, oh yeah. And then like on their side, they think that it's about them. They think that you're fake flexing. They think that you're the one, that you're instigating certain things, that you're not actually happy, that you're like pretending in order to like get back at them. And you're not trying to get back at them. You don't care about them. You're legitimately happy. You're legitimately moving on because you hit this threshold moment where you were reborn anew and you're not the same person that this person remembers. And it's all real on your side. It's all very true and real. And you've purified your space in some way. And this person hasn't. And so they're, I feel like, just stuck in this imaginary one-sided fight with you. And it's kind of a corrupted love with the King of Cups. Maybe they feel like there's competition here. So for some of you, they have love for you. So where's this hate coming from? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm hearing from Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants is a second one where Cartman has to tell Julia, she's like, I'm sorry if my tiny bit of success feels like I've taken something from you. Because you're showing up here as this Page of Pentacles, which I actually love this Page of Pentacles. She seems like so happy and so confident. And it's like, I think you're the kind of person, like, whereas this person likes to fake flex, you're the kind of person that you're like, look at my Page of Pentacles, 1 pentacle. And you're like, I'm so grateful for this. And look at what, like, you're inspired. It's like, something about this gives you hope and confidence for the future. Like just looking at your 1 Page of Pentacles, I think you're genuinely excited about some kind of journey, even if it is going to take a long time or something. Like you're just excited because you're seeing something like actually manifest for you in the physical. This is coming from such a sweet, like innocent kind of a place. This person, sweet and innocent, doesn't even pop up on this person's radar. Like they're not at all sweet. And you're very honorable and you're very noble. And you see this as yourself in the future, like kind of moving forward and with a plan or something, like this like nobility and this, you see that, but you also know that you're not there yet. And you're just excited to go on the journey, and this is very divine. It's very anointed, and it just sends this person into a tizzy. They feel defensive that you are in this energy, and it makes them feel strategic. And look, I'm seeing this as like a concoction. So I feel like for some of you, this person definitely does craft when they're supposed to be leveling up. They're supposed to be observing you and getting a different perspective. This person lives in like upside down land. And I feel like they need to, I just heard, why are you hanging off the ceiling like a bat? I can't remember what that's from. And then like they turn it like upright. And I feel like this person needs to like turn themselves upright to actually see you for the first time. So this person like hates you, okay? But it's because whoever they hate that they're saying is you, that person's not you, not really. This person is going to need to level up spiritually before they can actually see you for real. And then I just heard for the first time, ooh, sorry. But it's that I just now got the feeling that we're meeting for the first time. So it's like this person hates a figment of their imagination. That they associate with you, but it's not real. And I feel like probably you moved away from this person because you couldn't understand why you were being aggressed against, and I think you would get the feeling whenever this person was like talking to you, like, who are you speaking to? Who are you talking to? Because it's not me. Like the way that you have represented me in your mind is a problem, but it's a you problem. It's not a me problem. It's not the truth. And you're so consumed by your hatred. And I just heard Ogoye from Black Panther. She was like, you are so full of hatred. You are not fit to be a king. When she says to Killmonger, who's like covered in all those bumps, and they're like getting ready. She's like standing up for what she's going to fight for Black Panther, like that's who she sees as the king. And I feel like that's this person. Your heart is so full of hatred, you are not fit to be a king. So I feel like this person wants to be a king. They want to see themselves as the chariot. They want to be the noble one in this situation, but this person doesn't have innocence, and so therefore they cannot have nobility. That's what I just heard, and I have no idea what that means. But I heard they have innocence, so they will never grow into something noble. Because innocence is the spark of nobility. I don't know what that means. So that's the first I've ever heard of it. Innocence is the first spark of nobility. Because it's like truth and honor. And this person has never. So this person is actually pretty sad. That's what this actually is. All of this is a cover to the fact that they think they stink. Remember when I kept talking about poop at the beginning of this? Poopage? Yeah, this person is confused about their own heartbreak. This person felt heartbroken by you in the past, but you didn't mean to heartbreak this person. And I feel like this person is just confused. And then I'm seeing like the Tasmanian devil. So it's like this person was confused about something in the past. Maybe they were confused about something they thought was a betrayal and it wasn't, but they weren't innocent in the way that they approached you. Instead, they like tried to bully you and they spiritually hated you and possibly invited you to a party in order to like sit and stare at you or like hold a grudge towards you. Something. They just immediately went to hatred. So this person is the cause of their own kerfuffle here. So I'm seeing that Tasmanian devil because they've misinterpreted something early on and they continue to blame you. And because this has gone on for a period of time, it actually does take a lot. It takes a lot of strength to put this down and to say, I was wrong. Because that's what this person ultimately needs to admit, that they were wrong. And that's like really actually them reaching for their actual medallion so they don't have to fake flex all the time. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Yeah, and I really truly feel like the high priestess, which I'm strongly getting like Hecate, because I feel like this person for some of you is screwed with magic. But I feel like it's Hecate that is like, that's turning on them, by the way. Because remember, there's some kind of like, they pissed something off, okay? It's like something they shouldn't have fucked with, and it's big, whatever it is. And it's retributional, and it's karmic, like it's coming back at them. Something is. And it's also because they weren't just like a humble person that was living their human life building karmas. I think they tried to call on something pretty big, and this person was in the wrong the whole time. So this is going to turn on them. It's going to hit them in the face in a big way. And but I feel like Hecate tried to extend some kind of olive branch that was like, do you want to turn this around? Would you like for this to stop? Do you like, we're not going to set, I really truly feel like the powers of the universe were trying to play nice with this person because they can see that this person's confused. They're malintended, but it comes from a place of confusion. And so I feel like the universe was trying to play nice with this person. Like, do you want to acquaint yourself with the truth? Take it or leave it. And if this person leaves it, some kind of almighty storm is coming. Oh my gosh. Lover's energy and like being left out in the cold. And I noticed in this, I'm going to cover up these people's bodies. I don't know if you can see the ground cracking between the lovers. So it's like some kind of ground cracking between the lovers. And it is like divinely guided, whatever's coming through here. This is all very divinely guided because this person has messed with higher powers and they're ignorant. This is an ignorant person about the kind of powers that they've called upon. And also the same way this person didn't get to know the real you, this person didn't care to get to know the powers that they were messing with, whether that was like a nature power or whether it was like a god or a goddess. They didn't get to know that god or goddess. I really feel like I'm seeing the gods and goddesses like kind of snubbing this person. And they're just like, I don't work for you, and it's like, who the fuck are you? I'm about to show you what the fuck you are. You don't come, did you wake me up? Did you bring me here? And all of a sudden you're walking out on me? I don't think so. You're getting your wish, so sit down. Like, that's what I'm hearing. Like, you don't control me, okay? Bring an offering next time. Be humble. Like, this person needs to humble out. And they need to get a grip. I really feel like this person needs to get a grip. And they need to get a new perspective on your Page of Wands energy. So there's a part of you, I think you were very kind, you're very nice, you're very expressive. Like, this person was like, I get the sense that this person like watched you, and this Page of Wands energy, she's throwing the fire wand. And, when you watch people fire dance and stuff and it's kind of similar to the Cobra thing I was mentioning in pile 1. It's like, who would do this? Who would do this in their free time? They're like, I'm just going to light this stick on fire and then I'm going to twirl it around in my backyard with my hairspray on. Like, Like, but people do. And this is why life is so interesting. It takes all of us to make the world go round. And it's so fascinating to watch somebody do that. And I feel like there's something here that you were doing, and it was cute. It was cute, and it was innocent, and it was you were feeling yourself is what I get. And this person watched, and they were waiting for their ships to come in. And I kind of wonder if it was not some kind of negative ass spell. Cheryl, thank you so much for the $15 super chat. And they sat and they watched and they were pissed. This person was pissed. They were waiting for something to hit your beautiful, magical, innocent, sweet, jovial space. That's who this person is. Why did they do this? Because of a death? And also, like, okay, Kali is standing over that guy, which I don't know who that guy is. He looks like a soldier of some kind, but usually she's dancing on Shiva, which is, he rules over destruction and stuff. So I feel like this person, like, felt dominated by you and just didn't understand it, thought that you were, like, trying to dominate over, like, this is how this person sees you, okay? And they don't have an appreciation for women. Like, I don't know. Women all have this side to us. And you're lying if you say you don't. Because the feminine is always dual. And it can be this, like, strong retributional energy, right? And Kali wades through rivers of blood singing songs. Like, that's who she is. And she, so I feel like this person just got the wrong impression of your power and your strength. Like, kind of over them. This person felt subservient to you in some way. Look, they need to take responsibility. I feel like this person's like crying and like feeling responsible and burdened because where this person was like, the King of Swords in this deck is like clenching his fist. He's like got this nasty look on his face. But like, this is you. You're just like, and you just kiss this person away. You're just like, I see clearly. I can see clearly now. The rain has gone. I can see your nasty ass energy headed my way. Your grudge is yours and yours alone. I'm having a bright, bright, sunshiny day. And this person wishes that, basically they wish that they could have power over you. They're trying to play this tit for tat game that they think is Libran. They're like, oh, you have power over me, well, I have power over you, but they don't. And this person misunderstands a lot that hates you. But they're putting them, I feel like right now this person's in a purgatory, and I'm seeing a clock. It's like tick tock as to how long they're letting this person hold this grudge. Because I do think this person's like marinating in it, and they're trying to get this person to see from a different perspective, because they can see that this person's misguided, and that they're like, this is like a sad person, to be honest. I feel like this person's more sad than they are actually angry. But anger feels like a more comfortable emotion for them to feel. So they're like, you need to get in touch with your sadness so that you can change your perspective. Otherwise, they're going to bring the karma in. So they're giving this person actually a chance to nullify their karma, to undo, especially if they're a spell work or something, to undo what they've done. And they need to undo it thoroughly, and they need to start sending blessings your way. Yeah, and Michelle said, I wasn't Kali, but he pushed me into that kind of energy at some point, but I left to be at peace. That's exactly the energy that I'm getting, because they were seeing you as that kind of Kali energy, but you're not. It's just like, that's just a place of your power where you had to boss up into your power, because I feel like you can end situations that are bad for you. But it's like, you don't take joy in that. Like, you're not like doing it to bully this person, because this person is twisted in their mind. They think that you're doing it to bully, and not just to have your own peace and to take control over your own life. Vatrina, I love that name. Vatrina. Thank you so much for the super chat. Vatrina. I like that. Okay. Oh, interesting. All right. So what else about this person? This person though, I kind of am softening towards their energy, because they really pissed me off in the beginning, because I could tell that this person was wrong, and also like not stopping to think that they're wrong. But this person is actually striving for the light in some way. Tell me about how this person's striving for the light. Strength. They're trying to have strength. Okay, and I do actually feel like there's a feminine energy around this person, whether they're male or female, that is actually working to help them in some way. Find their balancing point and find their strength and find their nobility. Nobility with the lion, to find their nobility. Yes. And it's an Aquarius energy, so it could be somebody that has a different perspective or something here like that. They could even be watching somebody online. It's not at all unusual. There's a plethora of like therapists and things online that this person could be like learning from, but it's like a higher cup from the divine. So they're trying to get this person connected with somebody like that can start to help change their perspective. This person has been given a lot of grace in the situation. I just heard, and in part, it's because of you loving this person, or you are such a compassionate person. So you might have actually prayed for this person. You may have. Some of you said a prayer for this person. Or again, your energy is just so compassionate. For some of you, this is just a perspective that you have on like human beings and what it is to be human. You understand that it's hard. You understand that people get confused. And so I think if you realize this about this person, because I think a lot of you did realize, I think you just felt bad. And I think that you maybe said a prayer or like asked for some kind of compassion, and you're focused on your own new beginning here. You have such this pile really has a very beautiful energy, like a genuine energy. I think it's a shame that this person tried to vilify you in some way, or like whoever they were around, because you're so much not the villain. And this person has received a lot of grace from you. That's what's kind of upsetting me. Not that it's wrong, and you're right to do it, but like, I just don't like that this person seems to have received a lot of grace from you while giving you a lot of shit. And I actually think the shit that they have been trying to send to you maybe has been held off by the universe, because the universe is saying, is this really who you want to be towards this fucking person of all people? Oh, my grandma always used to be like, she'd clear her teeth. Whenever she was disappointed in you, she wouldn't say anything. She just... And I feel like that's what the universe is doing to this person. And they're giving them a chance to turn it around and to choose to be different. Yeah. They're just so heartbroken. This person is really heartbroken and they're in their head. I feel like if this person could really drop it, they're really in their head about you. And about some kind of heartbreak. They want to have the higher cup, but spirit, I don't know. And for some of you, this person may actually have, if they're in their healthiest state, this person may have the higher cup to give to you, like in this equal give and take. But spirit is trying to initiate them on their own journey and is saying, look, you're in a devil energy right now and you need some kind of assistance. And the universe, I think, is being that to this person, like maybe even trying to be their fairy godmother or something, bibbidi bobbidi boo. But it's like, listen, get in this pumpkin. It's going to be a carriage, but it is going to turn back to a pumpkin at midnight. Like you're given grace, but tick-tock. Like that's what I'm hearing. Tick-tock. This grace doesn't extend forever. You do need to be better. You need to be the one in the driver's seat kind of a thing. And then they'll bring like this situation, I think, back together. Because I think ultimately this person wants to be with you. It's just they go about it in this very aggressive, very negative way. So this is another confused energy. Okay, I just looked down at my walnut bowl, which I like to do. So painful or uncomfortable communication. There could have been a painful or uncomfortable communication between the two of you that this person like misunderstood, or they avoided a painful and uncomfortable communication that actually would have cleared everything up. And it wouldn't have self-blame and self-doubt. I actually do feel like this person has a lot of blame, shame, doubt energy around them. It's just, and we can hold space for that as people, but it's not appropriate for them to turn that into malice and then send that in your direction. That is not appropriate. Look, water. Okay, I'm just going to have like a little bit of water. But they weren't leading from their emotions. And you know how this person fake flexes? I feel like, water to me rules over money. So this person having money problems, or they could have lost money, or they could have done something dishonorable around money in regards of you. And it's because they weren't connected in with their emotions. And I do feel like this person's emotions and their money is like connected somehow spiritually. I don't know if that's true for all of us, but I feel like this is somehow a part of this person's path. People process things differently. You know what's crazy is I feel like spirit is actually saying this to this person. You've been absolutely atrocious. People process things differently. Look how we're holding space for you to process things your way. Can you accept that this person processes things differently than you? Can you try to understand their side of things? Can you try to understand the way that they operate? Because that's like what's going to help this person pass this threshold moment. Get help, use your resources. I feel like this is a person who could probably use help at this point in time. Somebody who is like an expert. Somebody who can be not just a listener, but somebody who can pull this, like help to initiate this person's like healing journey. This person is so in their head that they need somebody to kind of come into the storm and like pull them out. Somebody like a therapist. It doesn't have to be a therapist. It could just be, I don't know, somebody who is like more advanced and can just kind of like help It's not enough for this person to have a Libran dynamic. They need like a Leo. Oh, remember the Leo card came out, the strength. They need a Leo kind of leader energy to their student energy. That's what they need in some way, shape, or form. Somebody who's holistic, strong, a bright light to pull them out. And I do feel Spirit is trying to give this person that to guide them out of this. But there's a time limit on it. And I heard they don't want to waste their time here because TikTok. They're given a period of grace, but they need to take some kind of corrective action. And for some, it's undoing some kind of spell work here. Have base standards for yourself and others and stick to them. This person has not had base standards for themselves. I feel like this person has standards for you, and it's crazy, whatever their standards are, and they don't meet those standards themselves. There's a real lack of self-awareness, a real lack of it. And it's because this person is so scared to look at themselves because they feel inadequate. They know that they come up short. And so they just instead would like to take that out on everybody else. Consider how you might have reacted in their position. This person, I feel like you've done this all, like in regards of this person. They need to consider how they would have reacted in your position. I don't think this person would have reacted anywhere near as gracefully in your position. I think they would have tried, like this person brought down some kind of almighty hammer on you and you didn't do anything wrong. So imagine if you had actually done something wrong, what they would have done. Like, this is not a reasonable person. What specifically do you need to feel safe again? I feel like that's for you. This person probably rocked your sense of safety. For some, it's because they were up and around you and they should not have been. Like, you set some kind of boundary that was like, I don't want you up and around me. But this person, I feel like this is a spiritual group. Like, you're very sensitive. So you could have even just felt this person around you, because this is a person that continuously hates on you and that like kind of goes back around to see what you're doing and then misinterprets all of it. And this person is so self-absorbed that they think everything you do has to do with them. This person thinks that you cannot breathe, you cannot have a good day in your life that isn't trying to spite them. And that's because this is a very spiteful person. They're confused, and they confuse situations that they go into. This would be this is a very dangerous person, actually, to have a conversation with, because they're so confused that all they can do is inject that confusion into the conversation. If you try to have a conversation, this person has distorted reality so much in their mind that you would leave that conversation being like, what? Like, I don't even know what just occurred here. They're so not in touch with reality. And this really because they lack self-awareness. A pattern of going back on your word and breaking promises. And it may be beyond repair. This person I feel like the only way this is going to get put together is through divine intervention. And so I feel like this person is interacting with the divine. And the divine has taken over and is being very compassionate, actually, towards this person. Is being very direct, very forthright. But it is being very kind. The divine does not have to give this person a grace period. I also just heard if this person tries to... Some of you could have been a part of this person's grace period. And if this person tries to bring that almighty hammer down on you for being a part of what like spirit needed in order to give this person the information that they needed to have this grace period, to think about things and to change their behavior, then the grace period is going to go away. Hammer is going to be brought down. Because this person is being given grace, but they never give grace to anybody else. And at some point, the tit for tat has to stop. So I feel like spirit has intervened and is like, we're giving you grace. Can you give others grace? Can you be this kind of like force? You know, this is an incredibly frustrating person. I feel like this person's probably very alone. I would wonder seriously about anybody that would be in a long-term relationship with this person. I would worry for their health. Like, I would worry for their mental health. I think this would probably be a very abusive situation because this person is very deluded in their mindset, and they don't bring truth and kindness and compassion to the table. And this person probably really pissed you off at some point. And they try to act unbothered or anything, but they are very bothered. Look, love triangle. Yeah, this person could have introduced some kind of love triangle, and all they did was waste their own time. Or they want some kind of inside scoop about a love triangle. The nerve of this person. That could have been what they misunderstood. They could have misunderstood, like, I'm seeing you interact with a friend in your mind, or not in your mind, like in my mind, that's what I'm seeing. And this person went in a total tailspin about it, didn't ask a clarifying question, didn't have an adult conversation, made up a whole scenario, and then actually injected a third party into your situation. And then got confused about it, blamed you, and is just they're doing is wasting time. This is such a frustrating energy, because it's like there's truly nothing you can do to clean things up with this person. I feel like the divine's heavily involved in this at this point, but there's nothing you can do, because this person is so convoluted in their thinking that it's just going to be maddening to have a conversation with this person. If and until this person cleans up their own internal processes, which I keep going back to, like, this person completely and utterly lacks self-awareness. Completely and utterly. Then if they don't have self-awareness, they can't have a conversation. They can't have a productive conversation. And if by the grace of God, well, probably the grace of something else, you manage to get over whatever this hurdle is, there's going to be several more down the road, because they didn't get to the root of the problem, which is them, which is the fact that they don't have self-awareness, and they would rather fake flex than to have a conversation with you to get to the truth of what actually went on. So, but they are reaching upwards. They are. And Spirit is noticing this, and Spirit's helping them to do this. And they're at this threshold moment. And I'm picturing this is like a pocket clock. Opening it up, TikTok. Also, because I think families used to pass down like the pocket watches, because the businesses back in the day, they used to, before there was like technology and time clocks and stuff, they used to try to fudge people's time sheets. So a lot of families would gift pocket watches to their people that were coming of age, so that they knew what time they were coming in and what time they were leaving. So that they could keep track of it. So anyways, I feel like this could be family curse kind of thing, where this person is, or maybe they have Patrice, which is like the male side of the family that's trying to lift this person up. That could have been what's intervened in the situation as well. Maybe this person has fallen from their family standards or something. And they actually, potentially, some of these people do have strong paternal lineage that is disappointed in this person and is trying to help uplift and guide this person as well. We'll never get clarity from a narc. Truer words were never said. Neglected, treated very bad since I was a child. Now I have to heal from it. He lies to himself and believes it. Yeah. Your own sister. My entire time. It's funny to me now, but it really shook me when I removed myself. Yeah, and I think this situation definitely really would have rocked you, because you were at this threshold. I feel like it was you that was at this threshold earlier when this person did whatever they did. You were actually feeling insecure. You were trying to leave your comfort zone. They could have tried to pull you out of your comfort zone, and you were trying to trust this person. You were trying to take a leap of faith here, and then you ended up getting burned from the situation. But then you phoenixed out of the situation, and now you're gone. And you are genuinely happy. This person can't wrap their mind around it, because I really wonder about this person's mental health, and I really wonder if this person has been happy a day in their life. Because they just seem to think that every single thing that you do is to get back at them. And I really don't think you're bothered that much about this person. I think that you recognize that I think that you recognize what they did in the past. You recognize that they were the catalyst. That's not the same thing as you hating this person. I think you're deeply disappointed in this person. And now they sit at their own threshold here. So this is this kind of karmic swing. But because you've managed to make this productive, Spirit is trying to help this person learn how to make these kinds of moments for themselves productive and not absolutely catastrophically destructive, because it's all within their hands. And it's not on you or anybody else to fix it. That's another thing. This person's so confused because they think everybody else should fix it. They think nobody should fix this, and nobody can fix this but them. Literally nobody can fix this except for them. This person has a confused perspective where they're like, and you owe me this, and you owe me this. And it's like, they're so self-absorbed, and they're very, they lack self-awareness. And I'm sure it makes sense in their mind, but it doesn't make sense anywhere else. And they have to start wrapping their mind around that before they're able to like actually change. And this person actually feels very small on the inside. All right. Compassion. Compassion. Can't fall any further if we can't feel ordinary love. I have no... Okay, so S just said, it hit me that you look like Kiki's delivery service, which is very fitting. I don't know what that is, but I like it. The eternal child looking for a parent to fix his mess. I saw it on a TikTok earlier. It wasn't very long ago. And somebody was saying like men when they're in love act like children and women when they're in love act like a mother. So if your man is acting like a child, just leave him be. And I disagree with that. But maybe for some of you, it's like this person could like really love you and that's why they're acting out like a child. I'm not saying you should put up with it. I certainly wouldn't. But that just came to mind. I can never do what they do. Yeah. Oh, Kiki's delivering service is about a male delivering witch. Wow. Special delivery. Ah, a lovely witch. Okay. Me too. All right. Compassion. All right. Whew, that was a ride. I will say this person is actually trying. So that's really reassuring. All right. If you're just joining us, we are working our way through multiple piles. We have done the first 2 piles, and we are now moving on to the 3rd pile, which is the empty room. I'll get this right eventually one day. So that is pile 3. Love is a verb. They might feel like they love me, but they don't do it. Yes. That's such an adult view on love too. It's like love should motivate your actions. Love should be the fuel in your tank. All right. I'm just going to take a breather for just one moment. Compassion for us all. Okay. Oh, thank God I found your channel. I'm thankful. I'm so glad to hear it. Sometimes I worry. But, I think I've mentioned this before. This is probably just a good time to say this while I'm having a little rest. I'm glad that I stumbled into having a YouTube channel. I just kind of took a swing at it because I was like, I think this is something that I can do. I started off like with a moniker and everything to just like put myself out there. But honestly, this channel has been my saving grace in a lot of ways. Like I feel I wouldn't have dealt with a lot of things that I had buried unless I kind of had the safety and the comfort of exploring it through like your guys' energy, because every once in a while something will like be in the back of my mind. Like, do you do this too? Like, what's your version of this, Jess? Like, and it's kind of allowed me a certain safety to like look at myself and my own life. And Tasha, thank you so much for the super chat. And yeah, and then I've cried multiple times here. But I know this is my path because it's just something that really shakes me. And I feel very a part of like this energy too, and I've mentioned this as well, that I feel like we're moving through the stages of grief together, where I feel right now we're in this weird place that I'm not exactly comfortable with, right? Which is moving from denial to anger. Because I feel like there's that tower energy where you've realized some kind of truth about what was actually going on or what you're actually dealing with. And it's probably made you angry. And I feel most of us are women here on this channel, and anger is a funny emotion where women are just taught, especially women. I think some men are taught this too, that anger is not a civilized emotion, or that we're not supposed to be angry because we're just supposed to be these like, docile, like ever loving kind of creatures, which is totally out of touch with reality. But I think there's a lot of shame whenever you actually feel anger and to actually like feel it like bubble up within you, but a lot of times our anger is trying to alert us that we've been treated unfairly and that we don't deserve something and that we need to take some kind of protective action for ourselves. And that to me feels like where we've been at with the channel. And I that's what I'm saying is like, I feel like this has been so healing for me because sometimes I get in my head about like the messages that I actually bring through. And I have to remind myself, like, I didn't do this to these people. Like somebody else did this. But sometimes I feel like it's that kill the messenger energy. Like, are sometimes people going to be confused and say like, this is me? Because I can feel very angry and I don't like to see like other people get taken advantage of. And so sometimes I can just get like mad, and just to have that, come out and like, I don't feel like we're going to stay here in this energy, but it's been very healing to just kind of like, I don't know, accept that I'm angry sometimes and that I don't like to be treated a certain way and that I don't like to see you get treated a certain way. And like, I don't know, but it feels like we've been at that kind of stage, like denial into anger. And I'm pretty far ahead now with the messages that are coming through. And I've noticed a little bit of bargaining kind of getting thrown in there as well. So it's just, I find it interesting, and helpful. So Oh, I think you're so beautiful in your vulnerability, Jess. Oh, inspiring and so appreciative. Well, that's good to hear as well. Yeah. You were the first person ever to show benevolence with anger. Oh, how we have a right to have it. It's not the same as rage. It's also protection. It's our thorns on our stems. That's actually reminding me of another thing that I heard where it was these women talking about that they have a protective instinct, that women have a protective instinct. And I feel like that's what my anger is a lot of times attached to. It's like a protective instinct where, you know, you've heard like the bitch mother, like it's a female dog, right? It's like a wolf. It's that kind of like baring your teeth. And I just feel like that can be so healthy and it can be so healing. It can be so protective, that like woman's kind of protective nature. And I often think to myself too, like, do you really think a squirrel in the yard kind of is thinking, oh my gosh, like I'm not being demure and I'm not being feminine. Like the squirrel has things to do, okay? Winter is coming. You know, she's got babies. She's got to try to bury her nuts and stuff. Like we have things to do in life. And I don't know. I don't know if that's even making sense, but it's just things that I've been kind of considering lately on my journey here on Earth. So, all right. Oh my gosh. Maria, thank you so much for the super chat. Just wanted to say thanks for the messages, Jess. You've helped me so much over the last few years. I'm so glad. You have such fierce compassion. Oh my gosh. See, this is so good because I feel like I've been unhealthily mirrored to, like a lot of us have. And this is holding up a kind mirror to me. Okay. All right. Just joined. Nice. Okay. So let us move on to pile number 3. Just as a reminder of the anger card, it's the threshold energy, but moving on to pile number 3. All right. Let me just get some cards. Oh, wow. Hold on. Okay, so we're asking who hates you. Oh, okay. Okay, so at first I was confused because there's somebody here who loves you, okay? And this person feels like at one with you, they feel at peace with you. And with the wall here in the background, like it might be kind of like private or hidden, but there's this sun energy. So somebody here like just loves you so much and feels like maybe very childlike, very illuminated, very happy, very warm whenever they are in your presence. And I feel like this person also with the sunflowers, because sunflowers actually attract the sun. And so I feel like this person just can't help but follow you. Like maybe they follow you or their eyes follow you kind of like around the room, or like they just naturally follow your energy. But there is somebody here who hates you because they are trying to isolate this person in the empty room. And you make them feel less isolated, even if it's just the thought or the memory of you. And because they feel less isolated and you've brought just your energy, just your presence has brought a lot of clarity in, it is the truth, or it's illuminated the truth in some way because they've seen the reality of some kind of actual energy. This person is harder to control. They're harder to isolate. They're harder to trick. They're harder to fool. And there's some kind of energy here. And it does look like a woman here with this lady. That's trying to keep this person under control. They're trying to keep this person trapped in a sneaky way. They want to try to have some victory with this person, and they're trying to have control over this person's legacy. It's their 5th house. So they might be trying to use children to do this. They might be trying to use romance to do this, some kind of theatrical, performative energy to do this. And they might also try to make this person feel like they're winning or that they're successful, when in reality, this person is kind of being thwarted. This person's trying to lure this person in to keep them under their thumb. They want this person to associate their success and their forward movement with them, when in reality, this person has been a weight that this person has kind of had to drag behind them, and they've been a leech trying to leech out this person's success. What I'm trying to tell you is that this person could be 10 times more successful than they are with this other person. They would have 10 times more to show for themselves, kind of a thing. The Bayou. Oh, you changed your picture. Looking good. Thank you so much for the super chat. And also I'm noticing all the yellow here. Okay, because there's yellow coming out for you with the sun energy, solar plexus, happy, illuminated. But look at all this yellow here. And it's really coming through in like a very controlling kind of sneaky kind of an energy. And they also want this person to feel blamed for something. Like they want because I'm noticing this, like this guy in the solar plexus region with the 5 shadow swords, which the 5 of swords is like, there's something that they can't ever win. So they want to keep this person forever walking uphill, forever trying to like clear up some kind of burden or something that they're not responsible for, when in reality, this person needs to put down these 5 swords. I feel like these two have this like never ending argument, and this person always puts this person in a position in no-win scenarios, or there's like one overall no-win scenario. I do feel like there's no-win scenarios that would kind of trump everything, because especially like, I don't know, if these two have children together, it's like, they don't get along and they're kind of stuck with a very controlling person. It's not an ideal situation. You're never going to win because this person doesn't have an impulse to be cooperative. They don't want that. They want control. And so it's like, well, you want to get along with your child's parent. So it's like, it puts you in a situation where if you get along, if you try to maintain the peace, you're giving a lot. You're probably just giving, you're probably being abused or like walked over. That's just as one example, right? Because I do feel like there's some kind of overall no-win scenario that's like kind of all-encompassing that they want to try to get this person kind of like trapped in. But this person holds you close to them in their heart, or they've had some kind of like interaction with you. And it's like, look how big that sun is. That's like a huge sun kind of energy. And also this could be spirit or like the divine, because I covered up this thing, so it looks like the 2 sunflowers that are following the sun, like you both follow the sun, you both follow the divine, or like some kind of like warmth or joy, joyous energy between the two of you. And this person would really like to cause some kind of an argument, and actually I think they try to cause argument with this other person, like things need to change, you know. And also I think that this person has invested something in this situation with this person, and they could be anybody in their life. Like this could be a mother for some of you. It could be their mom. It could be somebody that they have children with. It could be, I feel like those are the 2 main ones. Like it's either a romantic partner or it's a mother figure. I don't know, but it could be a sister. It could be somebody else. I don't know. But they try to act very sweet or very innocent. They try to come off like they're perfect, and that they're like very well put together. It's like they try to control this person behind the scenes, like with their eyes closed. They don't want to be like seen doing it, and they want to be seen like, I'm just being gracious towards you kind of a thing. But really they're being like very controlling. And I feel like this person has invested a lot in this situation, but it's come up trumps. Like it's a lack. They've manifested lack. They've put a lot of effort in, and all they get is lack. And it's because they're with somebody who is taking from them, like more than they're giving. And so I feel like this person is like now looking over into like your space, or they're starting to realize that this is a very argumentative kind of a person, and that the tower that they've built is on fire. And also you could have had to draw a boundary with this person, or draw things to a close, or get distance, or like kind of put things on pause between the two of you, because this person was very foolish and jumped in with this person in some way. And I think this person's seeing that you're pissed in some way. But this, to me, the Knight of Swords is Denisha energy. So it's somebody here that breaks the mold. And I feel like you break the mold for this person in that healthy Denisha energy, because Denisha rules over having good karmas. And I feel like you have good karmas, and potentially like you drawing a hard line with this person, it has helped to build some kind of good karmas, and it's possibly leading the way in this person receiving their good karmas. Yeah. But this other person, I think, is, you know, Denisha is the height of Mars. So I feel like this is very argumentative energy. This person also could have broken the mold in some kind of way, but I feel like it has this slamming kind of impact, and it could have actually broken something. But it's in a bad way. Oh my gosh, the divine. The divine stepped in here. And their fortune was affected by getting involved with this person. Because I actually think this person has pretty good karmas. But it was affected by getting involved with this person and possibly having a child with this person, because they can't manifest the fullness of their karmas. They're going to have to pay out. I feel like this person has to pay out to this person, or pay for something for this person. They're going to lose money. For those of you where this is a mother, I feel like this person is stuck in this childlike mold. This childlike, where they want to like flee the nest, but it's a scary kind of threshold. So I feel like they just get a lot of time alone here. For some, this could be a partner that's extremely negative, and then they're going to move back in with a mother that's very negative. So it could be just the women in this person's life, yeah, they're spending a lot of time alone here. But I feel like it's actually very productive though, because they have this sun energy from you that's leading them to like some kind of actual success or actual victory. And they keep it in their little lantern here. So it's like, even when this person's alone, even when this person is going through their dark night of the soul, they still have the light of you. And I feel like that's maybe the spiritual purpose of this. Maybe this was always known in this lifetime that this person was going to have to traverse this. Because I kind of feel like you've laid down a hard law with this person. And it also might have been on the other side before you came in here. Or like it could have been in another lifetime where you were like, this karmic energy that is around you, that's either a mother or a partner or some kind of type of person that you always get involved with, you're going to clear that up. You got to get away from that. And I don't want to be around you if and until you do. But this person was kind of like, I need the light of you to help guide me through to my victory. And then I will have a victory in this situation. But also this is Saturn in Leo. So I feel like there's been some kind of karmic restriction here that this person's kind of had to go through, either in their childhood or dealing like with their child. But it is them going through their karmas, and it is them, they are working through this in some kind of way. But I just feel like you're being spared from this because it's for this person to clean up on their side of things. I feel like this person jumped into conflict. That's what I feel like it was. They were in this kind of fool energy. Okay, so this is weird because I feel like this person was like, if this is a partner, then I feel like they were in a period of insecurity, and maybe they were wanting to like jump out of their comfort zone in some way. And so they took a jump in with this person, but their intuition was telling them otherwise. And then all of a sudden they got into this crazy, like, some kind of, maybe they thought that it was going to be, because with this card, there's like, see that black hand at the back of it with that cloak, that like huge, long, like black looking cloak thing. And it almost looks like the Grim Reaper got his wand in there. And it feels like that's who they jumped in with. And it kind of confused their happy marriage situation, which might have been with you. Or they might have had to take responsibility for something in order to progress forward in some kind of victory. This also could be a mother. So if it was a mother, though, then I feel like they baited this person back in with some kind of fake story or some kind of promise or something here like that. So this person foolishly like went back, and their intuition was screaming at them the whole time. They was like, no, don't do it. It's about to be this. And then it was that. And now their hands are tied and they're stuck, but it's also changing them. Like they're marinating. They could be watching their child be at a threshold in some way. And I feel like there's a lot of guidance, like spirit guide energy around this person, especially when they're like alone, maybe at night in their room. I just heard that Christina Milian song. It's like sitting up in my room. That's all I can really remember. But that was such a bop back in the day. You know the one that I'm talking about? Sitting up in my room. Okay, and they just dream about like building with you. But I feel like you had to walk away. There's still love here, but I feel like you had to walk away. But I also kind of feel like this was like destined in a certain way. I think you made it very clear that this energy needs to be dealt with. Yeah, the Queen of Swords. So this person that hates you is this Queen of Swords. They're so pissed and they're so observant as well. So I think that this person is like not complying as much as, like, I feel like it's subtle differences, but it's still differences. And this person is not being as pliable. This person's not being as compliant. But it's in, look at these two. Look, they're both looking at each other like, and that's what I feel like is going on, where this person is like, they're painting the roses red, off with a head. Like this person, this person is thinking about making a decision to move on, and they're like kind of watching this person. And I think they're trying to give the impression that like all things are all good, or like that they're in a healthy relationship, or that they want a healthy relationship, maybe even that they want to go to therapy or counseling or something, but they could be buying themselves some more time here. But they're both observing each other and they're seeing details in each other. And I feel like this negative entity around this person that hates you is spotting the details in them. They're noticing subtle changes, and they recognize that something's over here, I think. That whatever they were trying to trick this person, because this person was trying to fool them about their personality. That's, and I'm hearing myself, I don't know if this reading has posted yet or not, because like I said, I've gotten so far ahead. But there's one where I was like, this person's greatest lie of all is their personality. The person that they pretend to be. And that this person is kind of realizing that. And so I think that there's like the end of an illusion here. between these two so that finally this person can move forward. And the divine is potentially stepping in to put defenses up. Like if this person does take this healthy leap of faith out of this threshold, it seems like maybe there's no net under them, but the divine's going to catch them because it's a very divine motion. Moving away from a person like this, absolutely. And you, something about you, the memory of you, the way you made this person feel, like that is kind of guiding this person forward, guiding this person onward. They have a lot of love for you. So they're in the King of Swords energy towards this other person. They're like, I see you. And they're in the King of Cups energy towards you. And there's some kind of boon energy. Because to me, the King of Cups is like Purvabhadra energy. It's the lion. So that's connecting with their strength. The lion. But it's also not working for a reward. And there's usually some kind of inheritance. So it even could be that they get some kind of sudden weird inheritance by someone who also dislikes this queen energy. So it could be that this queen is like, well, I control your father's will. And your father's like, you wench. I'm seeing Billy from Hocus Pocus. You know the zombie guy that they sewed his mouth shut? And then he comes up out of the grave and they cut the mouth open. He's like, you wench, you know? But she just expects him to be under his control. There could be an energy like that. That for some reason feels like they can't speak about certain things. But once this guy or this whoever moves away from this Queen of Swords, they might just get more money from the will or something like that they weren't expecting. I don't know. That's funny. Okay. Anything else? Oh, he'll never see her in a bad light. It's his mother. He's an only child. She just passed. He only wants to see good in her. He got the inheritance. Oh boy. Well, maybe. Oh my gosh. And then I feel like he's looking at you now. Okay. Who else? Who hates pile 3? Who hates pile 3? It's possibly somebody with money here. Or maybe you have money and this person's looking at you. Okay, this is interesting. We got the Emperor, the 10 of Wands, and the Ace of Swords, and it's overlooking the 3 of Swords. So it's somebody that's very controlling, but it could be this Emperor person, that trusted the wrong person. And they are very noble, but it's like they couldn't see the truth. They need to like rest. That's this empty room energy. So if this Emperor energy was persuaded to hate you by this other person because they were just being defensive and they were in some kind of functioning dysfunction energy and they were trying to move away from negative feelings, I think they're going to wake up and they're going to realize what they've lost here, and they're going to spend a lot of time alone and in contemplation. And I feel like they're going to kind of come out of whatever this is. There is some kind of process that's been put in place here by the divine. Okay, tell me anything else about this person that really hates pile 3? Ugh. Yeah, for some of it, it's like a mother and a child. Like, look at this, the Queen of Pentacles. And then it feels like the Knight is like behind her. And he kind of just does whatever. So if this guy was like in and out with you, I feel like it's because of this. Or it could be a partner that maybe has money or feels like has control or finances. Yeah, this person just feels very small. This person is so angry towards you. Oh my gosh, look at this. There's this powerful, powerful feminine figure. And there's a weak masculine. And so you can't win and you've tempered out. And that's who hates you. I feel like it's this feminine. This feminine is the one that actually hates you. This man can be persuaded to hate you, but it's not natural. And it's because this feminine does not allow him to feel his feelings freely. So he doesn't know what he feels. And keep in mind, we're talking masculine and feminine, which are energies. So it could, I think for most of you, it is a female and a male, but it doesn't have to be. Like, it could be a male that's in very feminine energy. Yeah. Let me see if I can't get anything else. Okay, so yeah, this has to do with success. And honestly, I keep being drawn back to that 5th house, which is romance. So success, and this says, I know that there is no greater goal than to love. So I feel like you are the love in this situation. And your definition of success involves love. And what these two have between the two of them isn't love. And what they pass off or talk about as being love, I think it's more like an arrangement, or has to do with like, you know, family, or you've hitched yourself to this person, so now that's your person. You know, it doesn't have to do with actual love. Him and his mother share a birthday. Interesting. Okay, so why this person hates you? Happiness. And it says, I'm aware that being happy means I'm on the right path. So they're trying to scramble this person's intuition, basically. Balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. So you're balanced in this situation, and you're on your right path, and I feel like you're headed towards abundance. There is something here about being tied by abundance between these two. And if this is a partner, I mean, this guy sits in the background, and he feels tied to this person because of money, because they provide for him in some way, or he feels like if he leaves, then he's not going to get the money. If it's a mom, then maybe he's got like an inheritance or something. And I'm seeing from Emma, I love that movie too. I love Jane Austen, but the new Emma, which I'm going to watch later. I've watched it like 3 times already in December. Don't judge me. But the guy, the rich jerk guy that rides the horse, and he is going to inherit his uncle's estate. And everybody talks about how like the wife rules at Escombe. Like everything that she says is done. So as soon as she dies, he rushes in to say that he's been secretly engaged to this person that he like wasn't to be engaged to. Like that's the kind of situation that I'm getting, is he wants to ride in and like now be engaged to you after like he gets the inheritance or something. Either from his mother, or if he finds a way, maybe he probably fantasizes, if this is a partner, about getting out of that marriage still with his fortune intact, and then be able to ride off on his steed and go declare you, even though the mother didn't see you as suitable for some kind of controlling reason. His mother married into money recently. Oh my gosh, the tea in this pile is piping hot. Okay, envy. I'm the same as everybody with different challenges. I feel like both of these people, this kind of Tweedledee, Tweedledum energy, like the mother and the son, they envy you because you're free, because you're not tied in with the things that bind them. Because these are kind of people that like to get levers into people, like little levies and pulleys that they know that they can kind of like pull. And that's what makes them feel safe, and that's what makes them feel loved, is being controlled by these like buttons and the levers that they know they can pull on each other. But you've got no strings to hold me down. Ba-da-bum-bum, ba-dum-bum-bum. Yeah, and also they might have tried to paint you as a liar. This is kind of a gross energy if this is a mother and a son, because it's like, come here, sonny boy, like, no, all these women are liars except for me. I'm the only woman you can trust, you know? And meanwhile, you're like, ew, like I just saw you eating something and just like spit it out, like, whoa. So you could have been painted a liar here. Some of you may have actually had to tell a lie, though, to get out of this situation unscathed, because these people may have power or connects or something like that. Change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. These people are very stuck. They're very stagnant. So this is envy. They basically hate you because you're not stuck. You're not stagnant. You're not controlled. You're not controllable. And I feel like if this man likes you, he likes you because you're not controllable. And you're kind of showing him the way. That's that sun energy. And he knows that he felt very happy whenever he was around you. He knows that you're not a liar. He knows that. He felt that. Yeah. Okay. I just got drawn to the love messages. And I always end up reaching for the love messages after pile number 3. So I'm wondering if I just do this in pile number 3. There's always somebody in pile number 3 that wants to talk. So let's just see. The Bayou, thank you again. He shows more love now that she's passed. Thank you for the confirmation. Okay, and also, after you said that the first time, I looked into the card deck and I saw the 2 of Wands. So I feel like he's looking at you and he is wanting to make some kind of move towards you. I didn't know like if I should say that out loud, but that's, yeah. He's like thinking about taking action here too. And he, you know, the 2 of Wands is that guy in the house that's kind of like elevated. So he feels like, you know, I got this now. So now he's got that and now he wants to come like towards you, I feel like. Okay. Okay, so let's just see like the messages. Oh boy. I'm not the same person. I don't know why I laughed when I said that. There's no one else thinking about you all day. Yeah, I mean, this person really is thinking about you. But there's another connection that they have that makes them feel inadequate. And that doesn't have actually anything to do with you. I feel like you illuminate this because this person, I'm hearing the word impotence. Like you, maybe you're sun dominant. You're very bright. You illuminate the state of things because this person wants to move towards you, but then feels like they can't for some reason. And so they want to tell you that they're not the same person. But I still see this person sitting on this threshold. But their heart's still like on fire for you. And like the heart energy is like what's burning this person like forward. They might want to tell you that they've thought a lot about this and that they're changing. I do feel like you're a catalyst for this person though. I'm secretly obsessed with you. I hope to have a future with you one day. That is for sure. Sitting up in my room. I'm literally hearing that song where they just sit up in their room and they just dream and they fantasize like about you and about I feel like this person has like several futures that they see with you. And all of them have this like Aquarian energy, possibly like just jumping into freedom. This person has this jump impulse, but it was misapplied in the past. With the Fool energy, they just want to jump in towards something. So they jumped in with this person, either back into mom's like clutches here or into some kind of controlling partner or both. Where mom maybe pushed a partner towards him that is like her, or they have a connection and they can, something here like that. Because it's a connection to the feminine energy that runs through this man's life. So it could come up in all different kinds of female figures that are around this guy. And I remember myself saying that in another reading where you really got to watch the females around this particular man. And I feel like you would have felt that. But yeah, they hope to have a future with you one day. They know that you're spiritually connected. I mean, I would say this is like a spiritual connection. But you highlight this person's impotence because I feel like they can lie to themselves a lot, that they're under the control of this person. They tell themselves that that's what they want to do, or it's strategic and it's not who they really are. Like it's in their best interest to play ball with this person. But look, this just came out. Please don't hate me for ghosting you. You didn't deserve it. Remember I saw that in and out energy. So this person could have ghosted you. I'm afraid for getting serious. I'm afraid for getting too serious. I was hurt before. Things move so fast and I didn't know how to trust my feelings for you. Okay, so now this person's annoying me and they're this person is kind of, this is a lie because I feel like you're the sun energy. Things move so fast and I didn't know how to trust my feelings for you. Okay, maybe, but like the feelings were telling this person to move towards you. Whereas something else, not feelings and not intuition, was telling this person to jump in either with his controlling partner or back into this, like with some other negative controlling feminine energy. And their intuition was going off the whole time not to do that. Maybe this person did know that things would get serious between the two of you. That could have scared them. Okay, and I just ask why? Why are they saying this? This doesn't make sense. And it says, I fear you will never forgive me. Yeah, this is kind of a weak person, to be honest, but I think you already know that. Like, they're trying not to get called out. And it has to do with a connection that they have with a very controlling feminine energy. I know I was wrong. Here we go. Now we're actually getting to the truth of things. I know I was wrong by not talking to you. Would you be open to talking now? So this person knows that they were wrong. But you know what? I know some of you are saying like the mom just died and like things like this. I feel like if the mom was still around, then this person wouldn't be in this energy. They're kind of weak. I feel so guilty about my actions and what I said to you. But I feel like this is what I said about you. Because I feel like this person is a flying monkey to whoever this controlling feminine is. But really, they feel empty without you. The empty room. And you're so perfect to them. And they're like, no matter what happens, my heart will always belong to you. So I feel like this person likes to keep things in this imaginative space because then they don't actually have to take action. And they're trying to be, it makes them very strategic and very slippery. Okay, so I've kind of danced around this truth, but it all just clicked in for me. Because in a lot of the readings that have been coming out, somebody here could have an overbearing mother, or there's just some kind of strong, overbearing feminine energy that's very observant, very nitpicky. And I think they thought that that's how they were raising their kid. If this is a mom, like this is the best way to do it. All it did though was make this person very strategic, very slippery, and very manipulative. That's all that they've done. And so he just wants to, that's a part of that manipulative energy of like keeping the peace and trying to hold both sides and please everybody. It's a people pleaser kind of energy. That's what this is. but you end up getting not pleased in this situation. But I feel like this person daydreams about coming back around to you, and this time with the fortune, or this time with the, and they're going to try to say something that really isn't true. And I think that you sense that it's not true. And it's because they don't want to acknowledge that they're weak and they're scared and they can't stand up to this feminine energy. And that's really what has kept you at a distance. That's really, truthfully, honestly it. They don't know how to stand up. They don't know how to confront. So instead they just get very slippery. So they're going to wait. They're going to wait until forever. I feel like this person honestly would like wait forever. So I don't think that they hate you. I think it's this energy around them that hates you, but I feel like it's had a great bearing on your relationship with this particular masculine. But I also think you've put some kind of firm stipulation in place here where you're saying, look, that's for you to deal with. I'm not getting disrespected. I feel like this is a lot of like TLC shows or something where it's like the mother-in-law is always interfering in the relationship and like the goings on in your own house. And you're like, who are you? Like, why should you, dictate what goes on in my house and in my relationship? Like he doesn't have a backbone. This guy doesn't have a backbone. And ultimately they have very little self-trust because they were taught to be dependent is what I'm getting. They were ultimately taught like this overbearing mother was like very critical, very harsh, but didn't teach them actual lessons like about how to do it themselves, because then they could fly away from her and she didn't want that. So she fostered some kind of dependence, some kind of overbearing dependence on this person. And then they might have gotten into a relationship with a partner that was just like that because that's what felt comfortable to them because they don't know how to do it on their own. Or a partner that was also under the control of mom. I feel like it'd go one or the other way. Guilt. They're feeling guilty. I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. I feel like this person is like, they want to change, but it takes courage for this person to change. Yeah, pride. I feel like this person has a sense of pride. And I feel like the one thing that this feminine does around this person is they allow him to shield. They don't call him out for his weakness because if they did that, he would leave, So they allow him to wear the mask of pride, but it's one that they control. So that works for him. And this is also somebody that you can't trust because I go back to that quote that I love that says, courage is the most important of the virtues because without it, no other virtues are guaranteed or something like that. Like even if you have a virtue, to be forthright in love, for instance, to go after the woman that you love or the man that you love. If you don't have the courage of your convictions to stand up to anything or anybody that might be standing in the way of that, and to know that you can trust yourself and to go independent in some way, which I feel like is ultimately what this codependent situation is about, you can't be the kind of person that you want to be. So I imagine this comes with a lot of self-hatred and betrayal energy. Like I think that you can feel betrayed by this person, but you would sense that they have a good heart. It's just that they're not strong. That's another thing from Emma. Emma's dad is always, her older sister is married, and he's always making these comments about how he's weak and he's not strong. And meanwhile, he's like, he's totally fine. Like, and he's always making these snarky comments like, evidently I may not survive the trip, But yeah, somebody likes to keep this person in a dependent position. It suits them. So this is codependency. I feel like this is a lesson in codependency. You are an emblem of strength and independence. In some way, I bet you are. And this masculine wants his. So he's very drawn to you. And in a way, you're the guiding light. You're the teacher here. But he's not independent. I think he likes to come off like he's independent. This is also someone who will inherit and they will act like they made all that money themselves. And it will be hard to watch. It would be hard to stomach, when you're out at dinner and like this person is like puffed out with their bravado or whatever. And you're like, he nursed until he was 45. Like that's you. You want to know how he made this money? He nursed. He didn't drop the tit until he was 45 years old. Yeah, but it's definitely this energy around. And I feel he hates himself. Because he wants free of this. He does. But I feel like when somebody dies here, there might be like a big shakeup. Because for some, this also could be a mother that holds the purse strings and might have very traditional views about like, well, you're not going to inherit if you get divorced or something. And so like they might actually have the gumption, but they're like, I mean, I'm kind of relying on this inheritance. And mom might be very long lived. I don't know. Okay. Wow. That was a lot. Okay. So stay away from mama's boys. So true. That's different than having a good relationship with their mom, but like definitely if they're a mama's boy. I don't know if this is real or not, but I saw a woman was telling her story time. This is so far-fetched. I don't know if it was real, but she was talking about, she was in college at the time. She was dating this guy. They went back on like spring break or something to their respective hometowns, and they planned to meet up. So she went to his house, and she walked in, and his mother was bathing him. Like he was in the bath and his mom was bathing him. And she said that they were just having a conversation with her like it was normal. And that was so out there that I was like, I don't know if I believe that this is true. But honestly, the truth can be stranger than fiction sometimes. So just never know. You just never know. Gag. Stop, right? Oh my gosh. Yeah, mom is like chewing his food for him, or like, I don't know. There's a line. There definitely is a line between like, oh, you guys have such a cute, close relationship, and like, oh my gosh, I'm horrified. Okay, so let us move on to the general messages, and then I've got announcements about candles and merch. And I'm just gonna nurse this real quick. Poor choice of words. Borderline incestuous. Have you guys seen all the weird reels about like the boy moms? Like where it's, and boy moms calling out other boy moms for being kind of weird. Not all of them are like that. Some of the boy moms are horrified with the other ones, but there's like rabbit holes that you can go down that are just interesting. The human race is truly interesting. An interesting experiment. All right. Gross. Freud has moved the Ouija board. I'm crying. Okay. Let me put this on. Gosh, I'm so instantly elegant. Okay. Sorry, I'm not like... Okay, I'm actually not that elegant when I'm like putting this stuff on. But, okay. Too close, too attached. She never kept a man because they said she was too close to her son. Gross. So other people are noticing this. Nasty. Okay. Oh my gosh, Amy says, I'm afraid it could be what you've explained here. It resonates a lot. You're teetering on the edge of that threshold of realizing that this might be an unhealthy situation. Well, if you walk in on somebody getting a sponge bath from their mom, then you'll know for sure. I'm so glad I have Fridays off for this. His mom is dead and he's still attached to her teats. I would be calling out that crap too. Yo. Okay, so shall we move on to a general message? And hopefully we won't get any more messages coming in here because I gave you time to speak in pile number 3. Just putting it out there. All right, Spirit, general messages. What messages in general do you have? Okay, balance and simply love and embrace and nurture. Okay, this is a really good energy. Trust. Okay, trust is at the bottom of the deck. I feel like I just heard trust where you're going. I feel like you've gone through some kind of something here where you were achieving some kind of balance, and it was with your masculine and feminine sides. For some of you, you might be embarking on this journey. Like, trust if you actually do balance this out, that this is actually headed somewhere. Lynette, thank you so much for the $19.99 super chat. So I feel like this is hero's journey almost. So I don't know where you're at in this timeline. Some of you are just now hearing the call, and maybe you're hearing the call to balance yourself out in some way. But for some of you, I feel like you've balanced something out here in this situation, and it's leading to a place of real love, and it's leading to a place here of the heart chakra energy. Okay, I just looked at these people's eyes, and it honestly scared me because there's like 3 eyes there. But it reminded me of there's a Taylor Swift song, and it was like 4 blue eyes. And I don't remember which one that is, but that might be relevant here to somebody. And I feel like Your ancestors are really proud of you. I really feel that. They're looking down on you. They're so proud. They're so happy. And they're shining this love into your life. Okay, yeah, they're drawing your attention to some kind of ancestor energy, and it's kind of feeling maybe hard for you to identify because it's both masculine and feminine. And I feel like this because these people have like passed on, and so they're kind of at one with the creator energy, but they're so proud of you. Or they're proud that you're taking this journey, or they've been helping you. They're saying, that was us. Hi, we've been helping you. We've been guiding you. And this is leading you to a place of real empowerment where you can embrace everything in the world. This is reminding me of the Anima Mundi energy in the first deck, where you can just embrace all of it and you can be the master of your own destiny. 21, I feel, is a significant number. It's the number of the world card. So it's integrating, it's finishing out some kind of cycle so that you can actually nurture like yourself here. This is a really, really good energy that's coming through. So why is this coming through? What are you wanting to communicate? Dreams coming true. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this rest and reconsider and seek. Okay, so yeah, this is a path, and I'm seeing like the Om Mani Padme Hum from this, like the compassion energy, but oftentimes I see like Om Mani Padme Hum. It's like jumping from rock to rock as you're kind of like moving up the river kind of a thing. So they're saying this is an answer to your prayers. We're trying to give you your dreams. I feel like you've been praying about something, or you've wanted some kind of like outcome or something in your life, and they're saying this is the way. Like we can't, I think sometimes from our human perspective, it's like, okay, if I want tacos, I'm like, give me tacos, and I just want the tacos to be like right there. But honestly, I have to go to the store. I have to get the meat. I have to fry it up. I got to cut the lettuce. I got to put it's a process. So they're saying like, learn to see the process as the answering of your prayers instead of just waiting for the tacos in front of you. I mean, sometimes it is, but even still, I got to like drive to the restaurant. I got to put my order in. So they're saying, start to understand the process as actually being an answer to your prayers. And I just heard hopeful. This is like, getting you out of a state of like despair or something like that. And it's going to help keep your moods balanced or something, because you can actually see your manifestations coming in. They're trying to answer your prayers. This has a strong ancestral, especially masculine ancestral like side here to it. But it's very loving. I'm just getting goosebumps everywhere. It's like very loving. It's very like contained. And, it's very one foot in front of the other. I'm just hearing like, trust us. We are giving you your dreams. You've been asking for something. You've been praying for something. It's very connected to your heart energy. And yeah, I think they might want you to rest and reconsider some kind of well-deserved reward and like trusting the process here. There's a new vitality that's coming into your space in a way that you've never seen before. Let me just, whoop. Okay, interesting. Oh, okay. So there could have been something in the past where you felt like overlooked and you felt like your dreams weren't coming true. But there's a different way that they want you to look at that because you weren't ready is what I'm hearing. Or they could have actually saved you, like by cutting things off in the way that they did, or by making you feel not chosen. But it's because you have to go through this process first in order to keep it and actually have it and sustain it. That's for some of you. For others of you, whatever it was, the rejection was actually a protection. So take this however it's resonating with you. So what is this balance energy about, Spirit? Oh, interesting. Okay, there's a karmic energy on your heels. What does this have to do with balance? Oh, okay. So it's not balanced because this is like your happy dreams coming true with like the Empress. So this is like a love energy and it's like family energy. It's joy. It's like happiness and contentment, right? But there's some kind of karmic energy that's on your heels. And so I feel like that's what the balance energy is about, because they're showing me like this karmic energy on one side and then this happiness on the other side. And so it's like causing it not to be balanced. So, oh, okay. So there's a decision about like which way to go. Finding sanctuary, being left out in the cold, some kind of sneaky energy. So they're wanting you to rest and reconsider something here. And this is 9. It's the number of the Hermit. And then the number of the Fool. This is interesting because the Fool and the Hermit are very different energies. Because the Fool is, oh, okay. So they're showing me that in the past you trusted, but it was from this Fool energy where you did not have some kind of knowledge or some kind of experience that actually you needed to have. Or this could be a person that you were dealing with. So they're wanting you to rest and reconsider, go into this place of the Hermit where you can gain this higher wisdom and be able to look at this. And some of you, maybe you were afraid of being alone. So actually being alone is going to give you a different perspective, because I think some of you might actually like being alone. And the perspective is going to be like from a position of strength. And so this Fool energy that comes in after you've gone through the Hermit energy is a much different quality of energy than just the Fool energy in and of itself, if that makes sense. And I feel like that's what's like kind of balancing things out. And that's what leads to the wish fulfillment. Okay, I got it. So I think this balance energy is all about this Fool energy. It's not just, we talk a lot about intuition and trusting that. Well, that's not the same for everybody, because not everybody has built the same level of relationship with their intuition. So I feel like in the past, you kind of went jumping in. You're like, I thought that was my intuition, but it wasn't. So you need to go through this period of hermitude, of aloneness, maybe looking inward, getting to know the way your inner systems work. And that honestly might be things like your id, your ego, your super ego. Understanding how like your inner system works. It might be that. And that's what's actually achieving some kind of balance here. There could be a time like when you were 14 where something went on here and that's maybe what split you, or there could be a time of that. Okay, so what is this simply love? Whoa. Okay, this is a new perspective. About like it's about getting a new perspective, like looking through the lens of love. Like, how is this working for me, instead of like, how is it, even obstacles and obstructions. It's like, how is this working for me? And they want you to get a different perspective or understanding here on the past strategy. Something about so Emperor and King of Pentacles. So it could be, these are people that you were involved with in the past, or like choices that you had in the past. But it also, I think, is some kind of like strategy towards becoming a King of Pentacles type person, or obtaining that. Like, look at your strategy, gain a different perspective. Look through the lens of love, though. And look through the lens of giving and receiving. And something else is going to be like, does your approach, what did your approach from the past say about giving? And what did your approach from the past say about receiving? And if you've grown in wisdom here, or when you do, it's going to change something. There's also, they're wanting you to look through the lens of giving and receiving, because there is something here about like a victim martyr thing. And it's not about that. I think there might be a narrative here about like, I was a victim, or I was a martyr, or I need to be a martyr in order to get love, but then I just end up victimized. Instead of this like kind of victim martyr thing, it's giving and receiving. That's what they want you to look at, like through the lens of giving and receiving. And I'm hearing you had to go through a time of being left out in the cold in order to receive sanctuary. But this left out in the cold moment kind of also seems like a hermit moment. And again, they're saying, look through the lens of love. This is initiating you into a process so that you can actually have your dreams come true. That's all that was meant by this in the past. You had to go through it in order to like get what it is that you had to do, but you have to be productive in this energy. You have to be productive in the hermit energy. There's such a difference in feeling left out in the cold, feeling like you were victimized, because you got left out in the cold, not really trying to see maybe how your behavior contributed to that, or like how the universe might be working through that. There's some kind of higher lens that they want you to look at. It's like, I'm hearing like no harm, no foul. Like there was no harm intended by this. This was actually the way in which they were trying to make your dreams come true. But you had to embrace something here. And I think you had to embrace being alone. You had to embrace some kind of hermit energy and turn some kind of corner in your soul, which is what the hermit is like about. Embrace aloneness, grow in wisdom, and then your intuition would have been more online. And then you would have looked before you leaped kind of thing, but then you could have actually trusted when your intuition said to leap the second time, is what it feels like. And you would have gotten some kind of different results. What is this embrace energy? I'm hearing embrace everything, reject nothing from the Anima Mundi thing. Embrace everything, reject. But that feels like don't push anything out because it's uncomfortable, like right away. Like even if it is uncomfortable, say, okay, like I'm gonna leave you there. I'm gonna know that you're there. I'm not gonna deny that you're there, which is like a piece of information or something. And then when I feel a little stronger myself, then I'm actually gonna come over and look so I can integrate it into myself. And it's leading to strength and wisdom and understanding. This is like the path to wisdom. This is the path to liberation, the path to freedom. One of my spells that I do regularly, it's the path, illuminate the path to forgiveness and the removal of spite. The path to the forgiveness and the the path to forgiveness and the removal of spite. So I feel like that's what this was trying to do, the path of forgiveness and the removal of spite. And it's removing an obstacle here, embracing some kind of in and out sort of energy. But I feel like something here needed to be very touch and go, very in and out, very flickery, in order to move you away from some kind of difficult perspective, some kind of difficult time, a judgment situation that you felt like you couldn't win, but then the divine was going to step in. But this is tricky because I feel like this is a leveling up in consciousness. Now, for some of you, this is your path that you're getting ready to embark on. Some of you have already embarked on this. Even if you have already embarked on this in the past, where you were like questioning your beliefs and you were really trying to understand why something didn't go your way, somebody else here could be following behind you. Like, so for some of you, this is coming through because it's saying like somebody is working on this. They're kind of following in your footsteps here. So you kind of need the divine to unlock this, is what I'm getting. But you have to put one foot in front of the other, and then something's going to shift in your level of consciousness, and that's when the door is going to open, and that's when you need to trust your intuition. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a negative cycle has to be released and integrated, the lessons of it integrated before you can even have the capacity to nurture whatever this wish is and actually take it on with this nurturing energy, which is this is the magician, right? To make something happen here. And this also is manifestation. So for some of you, if you've been asked to like hold back on manifesting, it's because you have to undergo this other process before your manifesting is going to be healthy and before your manifesting is going to be fruitful. And before you can navigate into getting like your wish, basically this all comes down to you are receiving guidance. It might be not what you want to hear. It might be abrasive, but this is guidance. It's acknowledging where you are genuinely at, and it is guiding you genuinely forward. And if you don't just shut it down in denial or in fear, then this is going to lead you forward. This is the way that you get your dreams. It's very clear. But they want you to rest, pause, reconsider what they're trying to tell you. You are receiving guidance, and I feel like it's a blended energy. Like I said, this masculine, feminine energy that's blended, but it's coming through like it's from the masculine side of your family. So maybe to do with like the actions, like you're trusting the actions that you're guided to take, but a lot of those actions may be internal. And it's coming from a place of love. And so even though this has been difficult, I feel like it's an answer to your prayers, and it feels ancestral. It feels like it's coming in on the masculine side of things. But resist the urge to point fingers here. This is a gestation process. That's what this is. This is a gestation process. Learn to see the process and the illumination of the process and the way forward. Learn to see that as a good sign, as your wish is actually coming true. Actually take those steps forward and see what changes for you. And this is a kind of thing where you can't see the end result here because there's a shift in consciousness. And that's when I'm seeing the stairs from Hogwarts. You know how it like all changes around and like the stairs over here, but then like at a certain time it like kind of goes over and now all of a sudden it connects over here. You're in some kind of labyrinth like that. And they're like, trust us, but you've got to be in position. And they're like kind of trying to move you. Yeah, there's a tower moment here, possibly to your routine, but it's part of the strategy. Yeah. So there's a trust that needs to come through here in the process. And I feel like this is an update in your worldview as well, but you need to go hermit mode in order to understand that. So for some of you, you could just be getting into like the spirituality stuff, the new age stuff, but you have to rest, you have to pause, you have to reconsider. I feel like if that's the case, you're being encouraged to go through a deconstruction process with your faith, like whatever more traditional religion you probably came out of, which is ensuring that you're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. So it's saying like, well, I might not believe this, and this anymore from my faith, but this wasn't all a wash. There's plenty of good things that I can take away from that. What do I actually believe? What do I want to take with me? So I think for some of you, there's a deconstruction process, whether it's with your faith or just with an old way of a worldview or something. I feel like you're being encouraged to go through a deconstruction process first. Don't jump the gun because you're going to hurt yourself and possibly other people, and you're not going to understand because you're like, I'm just trusting this and I felt like the door was opening, and then it's because you didn't go through hermit mode first. So it wasn't mature. Something wasn't mature. And if this isn't you, then I feel like spirit is telling you what's going on with this other person, like behind the scenes. and they are actually maybe really praying for something here, but they have to become a better person. They have to become a more evolved person of themselves, the same way that you did, is what I'm getting. So now, if you are this person on the other side of things, now's a time for you to enjoy the fruits of your labor, enjoy your independence. I feel like things are very peaceful where you are. You're chilling. And then I think you're just gonna maybe go to a party, or you're gonna have some kind of gathering or get together, and then you're gonna look up and there's gonna be your King of Pentacles, and you're gonna be like, whoa. And it's just gonna feel like magic. It's just gonna feel like some kind of manifestation. But where you didn't trust this person in the past because you spent time alone and because they spent time alone, then you can actually trust and you can actually embrace this. And it's the end of some kind of karmic cycle here between the two of you. But it requires both of you kind of going through that journey. And I don't know what your dreams are. I think for some of you, because I saw the Empress and I saw the 10 of Cups. So that to me, it's like love, basically, is a part of it. And like some kind of well-deserved reward is coming towards the end of this. But you got to trust the process. Learn to see the process. Like when you're praying for things, or when you're manifesting things. And like if I'm trying to manifest my taco and somebody for some reason gives me like a pack of ground beef, I shouldn't just be like, ugh, like why did this person give me ground beef? Like I did ask for it, you know, but it just might not come in the form, and you have to kind of gather one thing at a time, you know, kind of thing. But you got to learn to see it that way. Like, oh, my ground beef. I'm like an eighth of the way there to my tacos. Like, you know, if that makes sense. So if somebody gives you something random or it's like a piece of advice or something, and you're like, who sent for you? Like maybe you did. Maybe you did. Okay. I hope that made sense. That was kind of lofty, but there's a lot of, you ask for this. I'm literally hearing you asked for this. This is a masculine ancestral lineage that's coming down to assist. And for some of you, maybe you ask for assistance with this other person, and it's like this masculine lineage is helping them. I don't know. Yeah. Move, seek, well-deserved reward. Which is just, I feel like, the path forward here. And there's a lot about like a heart chakra opening, a heart chakra awakening. But trust that you are being led to the place where you can receive your reward. I'm also hearing that another thing that we get wrong is that we just automatically think that we're a match for anything that we want to pull in, and we're not. And so you feel maybe let down, or you feel like something is hocus pocus or hooey when you're trying to manifest something and it doesn't come in the time frame or whenever you want it. Sometimes you have to change your vibration, or however you want to relate to it. You have to change to be the person who can identify it. Because for some of you, I'm hearing it's been around, but like you haven't been able to identify that something is actually your manifestation in several different arenas of your life, maybe. But the other thing is we have to be able to support it. Like I'm seeing kind of like the Seattle Space Needle, which I know is like structurally sound, but it's like where it's skinny on the bottom and then it's like top heavy. So it's going to like fall over. Like you've got to be able to support the thing that you're trying to lift up, you know? That's what this is doing. It's trying to make you the thing that can support whatever it is that you're calling in. Because it's not a good thing to call in something that you can't support, because you might think, oh my gosh, this is a win, but it's not actually a win. So it's about seeing through the lens of wisdom, and that be encouraged if you're being held out from something, because it means you're working at the right side of things. And that's a win. I'm hearing, and that's a win. It means that you're actually tapped into the right side of things. And you want to be very careful, because I'm hearing there could have been a situation here where you were like trying to manifest something and God was like, no. Because God loves all of us. And God was like, you need to go get right with that person, because that was your soulmate. We don't waste anything. And you're not going to throw a fit and move on. No, you need to go back. But then the devil was listening, right? And so the devil's like, which one of my minions is most like this other person? Okay, you go jump in. You got to understand where you're vulnerable. And you have to understand when you work with the light side of things, that is the straight and narrow. That is, you do things by the book, because we're not out here just harming people like willy-nilly. So where we need to go make repair, we need to go make repair, you know? And God is saying, I have given you my blessing. It's over there. Nobody's withholding it from you except for you. You got to learn how to be the person that can go over there and make your amends or say your piece or whatever. That's God's stance on it. It's never going to change, because that's the right thing to do. The only thing you're going to think is changing, that's devil shit, right? So it's like, you've got to understand how to work with the light side of the energy. That's another message that's coming in here for somebody. Yeah, Melissa said, to the detriment of our family, he has apologized, but I don't trust him to put our family's needs ahead of her. And that's the other thing. It's like, that's a part of being that person who can bridge the gap, because you need to learn how to fully make amends, right? Which isn't just the words that come out of your mouth. You have to be willing to like show up and demonstrate that you're trustworthy because you've broken something. And an ounce of prevention is always worth a pound of cure. And that's just the truth of it, you know? So I feel all of these are very vital and important lessons, and it might hurt you because, you know, I mean, I'm sure Melissa wants help, you know, support with her family, but she can't trust him. And if she tries to trust him when just inherently she doesn't trust him, then she knows that things are going to go wrong. So it's not like, that's another thing that I feel like is coming through. It's not like people are trying to withhold from you, or they're trying to, it's just they're trying to protect. They're exhausted themselves. They don't want to jump. It is that healthy fool energy. They don't just want to jump. They have to look before they leap kind of a thing, you know, because something is off. And that's what I feel like you're learning. You're learning how to work with the energies. And instead of feeling like victimized by the energies and victimized by other people, it's learning how to see other people as being full in their self-expression and like, no, there's actually a reason. It's intelligence why this person is not just like jumping in, you know, because I've given them a reason not to. And I need to learn how to rebuild and repair. A major part of sustaining relationships into the long term is learning how to actually rebuild and repair them, because you're not going to be perfect. You're just not. So, but if you don't do that, if you don't show a willingness to repair and rebuild, then you've given nobody a reason to trust you. And you've not demonstrated your skillfulness in the area of relationship. You are basically saying, I don't have the skills to sustain a long-term relationship. But then you're looking at that person and you're saying, so why don't you jump in with me, huh? I feel victimized by that. And this person's like, I feel victimized by the entirety of what's going on here, and confused. And I don't understand why you're not working on I'm literally getting an image in my mind of somebody like, you're just doing your work. You're working on your project at the table, and they're supposed to be working on theirs, but instead they're like heckling you. They're like, why won't you come over here, huh? Why won't you be my girlfriend, huh? And you're like, excuse me, we're supposed to be working silently, you know, like, and so the whole thing is signaling like a lack of cooperation and ability to follow directions and like, you know, things like that. So, oh my gosh, crazy. Okay. All right, so that was the general message. What did I say that we're going to move on to? Oh, yeah, I've got announcements. Okay, let me just compassion us. So for those of you who are sticking around for the announcements, I'm studying for the test, sir. The announcements. Okay, first one I'm really excited about. Hold on, I got it here. I have merch. I got a hoodie here, and I really am proud of this design. Maybe you're like, I don't know. But I really like this. It comes in different colors. We just showed like the kind of purple one. I ordered mine. It's supposed to be getting here soon. I think they said by like December 13th, because mine was like the first one that like I ordered or whatever. But so I got the blue one. There's like a light, I think it's like some kind of mist or whatever. I ordered it in that color. So there's different colors, and I think we're working on getting it on the shelf below the video.
It's there, but for some reason the shelf, like the shop shelf kind of thing, doesn't always show up on live streams. Oh. It mostly shows up on regular videos, which it's all there right now, but live streams it just doesn't show up in the same way. Maybe because there's like live chat and everything, and it's a different format. But yeah. If you don't see it there, I just put it in the chat. I just put the link in the chat, and it's also in the description on the live stream here right now.
Okay. So the link is in the chat if you guys want one. I already posted this link on Patreon, and I know a couple of you guys already ordered the hoodies. So let me just describe this though. So obviously it's the lips with the lip gloss, which obviously for obvious reasons, and you can't really see it so well on this picture, but like dripping off of the lips, it says "Om Mani Padme Hum" in the script, and that we post, you know, at the top of every live stream. It's the prayer that's written like on here. I just feel like it's so Chaos Coven. So it does actually say the Om Mani Padme Hum as in the lip gloss that's like dripping down, and I just love that so much. So that's the first announcement. And then the next announcement here, I just want to share the Christmas lineup of the candles.
Winter lineup. It's definitely not Christmas. Christmas.
Okay, winter lineup. And so you can get like a flight of these if you want for just like all of winter time. They're really good. I'm actually really proud of these. At first I was feeling a little bit like uninspired because, you know, the midwinter night I felt like was honestly pinnacle Christmas. Like I was like, how could you do better than this? Like honestly, it was just the first one I ever did was like perfection. But honestly, Alex is rolling his eyes. But I'm really, really happy with these and I'm excited for you guys to try them. And let me just get into it. Okay, so the first one is a staple that we've had around for the longest time. It's Mama's House, which to me is very fall, winter. This is a classic. It smells like cookies baking in the oven. This is my legitimate favorite candle that we make, and it's my mother-in-law's favorite candle. It just smells so like homey and good. So this one is just classic. It's a favorite. It's offered year round. I don't actually know. I guess we keep all these up year round, don't we? Or the seasonal ones, do we? Because we have like fall seasonal.
Now, we haven't changed that as for the time being.
Okay, well, anyways, that's the Mama's House. We've had that one. It's so good. Okay, this is Midwinter Night. This is the one. This is another classic one. It's very Scandinavian Christmas. Oh, I just messed this up. Okay, so this is a good time to tell you if you've never ordered one of our candles before. We use paper for the labels, because that's more sustainable, but you can see like it's taped on here like this so that you can untape it and then you can just have a clean vessel, because I don't always like having the labels on my candles whenever I'm trying to get it to fit in with my decor or anything. And I love this apothecary jar because I feel like it's very feminine and it's very just classic and very classy. And all of the ingredients that we use in these candles are the cleanest ingredients that you can find on the market, which I feel like is not talked about enough, honestly. There's a lot of petrochemicals that are used in candle making, but also are sneakily used in candle making. There's also a lot of sneaky like metals and stuff that can be used in the wicks, like lead and things that you can be burning, and it's just in your air and you're breathing that in. And as much as you can minimize that in a modern society, you want to,
And you should always be careful too, because just because a candle says that it's 100% soy wax, that doesn't mean that it doesn't have other additives in it. It just means that there's no other types of wax in there.
Yeah.
But there could be all kinds of leveling agents and different things to help with consistency and whatnot. So you gotta keep an eye on that.
And a lot of people who live in the U.S. were used to this kind of nonsense. For those of you who don't, so in the U.S. we have weird labeling laws. So like on food items, for instance, they can write 0 grams trans fat like on the labels. And what that really means is that oftentimes there's 0.5 grams trans fat. You think that it means that there's no trans fat. So it's a weird labeling game here with a lot of these things. So what Alex just said, it's like, okay, it's 100% soy wax, but a lot of times they add additives to make the wax smoother and actually like congeal. So you'll notice like some kind of slight imperfections. I actually like it. I think that looks sexy as hell. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can kind of, let me move it. Which way do I move it? Okay. Where you can kind of see the imperfections at the top, but it's a sign that it's like natural and that it's got its own personality. And I actually really like that. So, and also the scents that we use are the cleanest scents on the market. So again, in the US, California is a state in the US, and it has this thing called Prop 65, and it's this laundry list of chemicals and additives and things that have been known to cause, like, they're carcinogenic, to cause cancer, hormonal disruptions, things like that. So if you sell in the state of California, which we do, then if you have any of those things on that list, you have to put a Prop 65 warning. We do not have to put that on these candles. That's how clean these candles are. We're actually really proud of that. But it does cost money to make a candle that is like this. So if you're a candle person and you like to have candles going, this is just like a really, really clean option. And again, it's not something that's talked about. There's sneaky ways that people say, oh, this is 100% soy wax, but there's still additives in it and they used a messed up wick and like to cut costs and things. And we don't do that with these candles. So anyways, with that being said, so this is Midwinter Night. This is another like classic scent. This to me, it's like Scandinavian Christmas. It smells to me as if you got lost in a Scandinavian forest under an aurora borealis in the middle of winter, and the North Pole, like the peppermint factory at the North Pole was like wafting towards you. But it's, I don't know. I like this scent a lot. It's classic. It's classy. It's all the things that you like about wintertime and Christmas. Then we have a peppermint cocoa, which is obviously Christmassy. And what I've noticed is that sometimes I'll crave like a peppermint cocoa or something like that. But even just smelling this, like my craving is done. And I also have like a mint chapstick that sometimes I put on, and it just like kind of squashes that craving. But yeah, this just, if you like peppermint cocoa stuff, then this is like kind of classic in that scent. This is Christmas Wreath. This is a really piney scent. It's like just very evergreen scent, classic, classy, good for all winter, like good for all winter. And actually what I like to do is I'll get a couple of these candles and I light them in different rooms. And this is a good like supplement, like base foundational one, I think, for wintertime, to have like lit in one room while something else is like lit in the other room, because it just adds to that like winter sort of ambiance. So that is Christmas Wreath. And we have two other ones that we're going to finish up like the actual making process over the weekend. And it's really a shame that we don't have them to show you, because they're probably my two favorite ones. And it actually surprised me that they're my two favorite ones.
You can smell that.
Well, okay. So this,
No, you don't show.
well, I'm going to show them.
Don't.
Okay.
There's nothing to show.
Well, I have to
Smell
sniff it.
No, I'm just saying, don't put it in front of the camera because it's ugly and not something
Okay, well,
worth
it's ugly.
showing.
So this is just like our sample thing that we like. I've burned through this, okay? So it is sugar plum, and it smells like sugar plum. I'm a very picky candle person, but if you like kind of sweet candles, it's a very well-rounded, sweet kind of scent, and it honestly is my favorite. We actually had this one lit during Thanksgiving, and everybody was like mentioning it. It's really good, classic kind of sugar plum scent. And so this is what I'm saying is like, I like to, like if they have the evergreen one lit in one room and then the sugar plum in another room, and it kind of like blends together, and it's like, you feel like you're at Santa's workshop or something like that. I don't know. It's just delightful. So that's the sugar plum one. And then the other one, which I think is my actual favorite, which I'm so surprised by, we are calling it Sage Nick. And it's funny because basically it's a kind of, we set out for it to be like a Christmas incense kind of smell. And because we like that. But basically, if you picture Santa Claus like shirtless as a sage meditating, that is what it smells like. But also what it smells like, it's peace and calm, it's comfort and joy. But it kind of reminds me of, you know, those sometimes like they come in like the plastic things, and it's, well, you can also make your own of like the orange slices and the rosemary sprigs and the cranberries, and like you put it in a pot, the cinnamon cloves, and you boil the pot, you know, and just to have that kind of like go into your space. It kind of smells like that. But honestly, it is actually the smell of Christmas to me, like more than any of the other ones. Like the other ones do smell like Christmas, and especially like wintertime. But for some reason, this Sage Nick one, we both like kind of, those always end up being the best ones. I think the same thing happened with Fresh Start, where Alex and I were like, oh, I don't really know about this. And then we lit it, and now we're obsessed with it. And honestly, I think Fresh Start is our like #1 bestseller of all time. And it is my like, I always have that one around. That's my like staple in the house, because it just makes everything smell clean and fresh, almost like cashmere, but it's kind of toned down and warm at the same time. I don't know. Sage Nick, I feel like it hit me the same way, where I was like, I don't really know about this. I don't know that we're going to include this. And we started burning it, and I was like, oh my God, this is like, it's elevated. It is Christmassy. It's calming. It's kind of got that spiritual vibe a little bit, but not over the top. Like if people weren't spiritual, they wouldn't like associate it with that. But if you are familiar with incense and things like that, then I feel like you would. But Nikki, thank you so much for the super chat. Behind because of stupid work. Thanks, Jess. Good to know who hates me. You rock as always. I'm receiving some more Coven candles today. Sending Yuletide cheer. Yay! Fresh Start. Vidya. Fresh Start is it's another one of our candles. It's a classic scent. It's not like the holiday scent, but it's a very fresh, clean laundry. And we launched that one the same time that we launched Truth Serum. And I actually like those two going together, because Truth Serum is all about like, Truth Serum is one of the everyday magic candles. So it's all about like cutting cords in order to like kind of give yourself a fresh start. And we don't put heavy scent in our everyday magic candles. There's a light incense smell to all of our everyday magic candles, because it's a part of the infusions that we put in there, like the energy that we try to like infuse it with the intentions and stuff that, you know, we try to bake in there. But I like, scent is such a powerful thing that I like having like the fresh start thing with the Truth Serum, because I think it activates your brain. Because keep in mind, with you are the powerhouse. Every witch I feel like has their tools that they are drawn to, but you don't need these things. If you like them, if this is what you're drawn to, that's kind of what this is. These are things that I like and I would use for myself. But you're the powerhouse. Like it's your manifesting ability. These things are kind of like tapping into. These are like intention setting tools is kind of the way that we look at it. We like to do the vision boards. We like to try to deal with our energy and stuff. So just ordered my shirt. Yay.
Also, all of
just remembers my name. Of course I remember your name.
The everyday magic candles are still on sale.
Oh, and the everyday magic candles are also on sale at the 40% off. So if you're going to get one, because if you're in the US and Canada
and UK.
And the UK, then I think that there's a certain threshold.
Oh, no, that's just US. That's US only.
Okay, so US only, it's like $30 or something. Then you get free shipping. So if you want to like add, other candles, like there's stuff that's on sale and things. And also we've got a plethora of new like holiday scents, and these are all really good. And I seriously look forward to lighting them. Like I turn the tree on and I light the candle. I don't know. I'm a candle girl, and I like flames, but like healthy flames, calm flames. So I don't know. And to me, it's such a ritual, and that's part of like the everyday magic candle. That was part of the idea behind it is as like an intention setting practice. Because every day when you like light your candle, or every time you light your candle, it's like you reconnect with the vision that you have for yourself and for your life. And it's just, I feel like it's such a simple yet powerful ritual, and I'm all about those. So anyways, Sage Nick would be ideal for solstice. Yes. So if you want to get that before the solstice on the 21st, around there.
Yeah, that one's not listed yet, but it should be listed probably by like Monday or so.
Okay, so that one and Sugar Plum, they're not listed yet.
Sugar Plum is listed.
Oh, Sugar Plum is listed. Sage Nick is not listed yet, but it's probably going to be listed by Monday, and we will announce it on the community board and on Patreon whenever it does get listed. So, I got like this much of the sample left of Sage Nick, and I'm like rationing it out for myself because I just like it. How much does it cost to send candles to the UK? I'm not entirely sure. Do you know off the top of your head?
It varies. I can't say off the top of my head.
Okay, it varies. So
it's kind of standard shipping rates. We don't have any kind of like ability to do too much in the way of anything special. So it's typical for what you might order from Etsy or anything like that.
Yeah. I hope you will ship to Norway sometime. Yeah. It's hard for us with the international shipping because, like if something goes wrong, we're a small business, and it actually can like really cost a lot. And
yeah, custom stuff is very difficult to navigate, like especially if you want to do it right. Like some people just wing it and say, "Oh, I don't care. I'm just going to ship everywhere." And then they end up getting caught out and, not doing things by the book, and then you end up like, being strung out. But there's also the fact that international shipping oftentimes is just really expensive unless you're a big enough business where you can actually do stuff by volume and then make it more cost effective for you and the customer. But like at this point, we almost can't afford shipping too much internationally because the shipping just would be astronomical for a lot of places.
Yeah, it's hard being a small business. And that's the other thing too, because I was at Target. Honestly, Target has really cute candles, but they're not clean and like they're not safe. But the other thing is that there are big companies that make these candles. And because I'm always like, how do you keep these prices so low? And I'm sure part of it is the ingredients and like the kind of wax that they're using and everything. But also part of it is like they're buying these things in such bulk that they can get like way better deals than, we're able to get. So I don't know. It's just hard out here. But thank you to everybody who's bought our candles. I sincerely hope that you like them. And I hope that you feel that it is like a cleaner, safer way of enjoying your candles, because I don't want you to have to worry about it. I mean, every candle that you light that has scent in it is going to have VOCs, but so does every cleaning supply that you use and the things in your shampoos and stuff. Like, there's no like kind of getting around certain things. But basically, we tried to set out to have a candle that we feel comfortable lighting in our home, because I am the kind of person, you guys know I have a touch of the OCD. I will think about it every single time I light the candle, that I'm like poisoning the people that I love. Like I will think about that. And then it's no longer an enjoyable activity for me. So that's also why I'm excited. I literally like to do this because I like candles a lot, I like scents a lot, because I have a Venus in Taurus. It got so bright, did it not?
The sun just came out.
Yeah, the sun will come out. So anyways, that's what we have. And also we got the merch Yeah, they're heavy. Yeah, it depends on the weight. Yeah, international shipping does.
Yeah, especially with candles. Candles are just a heavy item.
You look like an angel. Oh, look, you can see that a little better than I thought you could. The lips on there. And like the mantra. Like you can see the mantra like hanging off of there as well. So. Okay, well, that's what I have. Thank you guys for being my people. Thanks for showing up for Friday shenanigans. Sorry. You know what was really great? I'm sorry that people hate you. And that people hate me. I'm sorry that there's hatred in this planet, this realm.
But if you're gonna be hatred, at least you can be hated by the right people.
Alex has taught me that. At least be hated by the right people. And also, like, these piles, it seemed like a lot of what was bound up in hatred. And isn't this just so true? Actually, I haven't thought this through to fruition. But maybe a lot about hatred is, like, just misunderstanding. Or maybe not all of it. But it seems like that was, like, a major theme here. So, it was a fun night, except for pile 3, LOL. All right, so, okay, and then Alex added, Sugar Plum is more like a holiday punch, but has some warm bottom notes. That is so true. And Sage Nick is more incense and herbal. That is so true. So, do you have anything else that you want to, like, describe?
No, each of the listings has, like, really detailed kind of, like, scent notes to it, so you can always check that out on each one.
Okay. All right, thanks for being my people, and that's what I have. All right, toodaloo, toodle pip.